Well, Fester, apparently a big hoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo here in the office complex yesterday.
Yeah.
You hear about the little alligator action? These are actual noises. Yeah, one of the interns rushed to the parking lot right down the way here and took one of those little portable recorders. And these are actual jaw snaps from the alligator.
Okay.
Which sound remarkably similar to like the snapping and biting sounds in Hanna-Barbera cartoons going back to the 1960s. Yeah, very, very similar. So, I mean, that just shows the authenticity of the... And also, I believe when Fred Flintstone was checking into the rock quarry and he had to get his time card punched, remember there's like a saber-toothed tiger there? I think also very similar sound, yeah.
Same sound.
Or when the dog, like, bites a bone or something and...
That's what I was thinking.
Fido or whatever, yeah. Hey, so Andrew, do you have the update on the breaking news? We had a big alligator right here in the office park yesterday. Do you have all the detail?
Just what Pat told us.
So what do you know? I didn't get all the facts because I was just walking by. So what's the story?
Pat told me that the security guard found
the security guard had his arm bitten off by an alligator. Oh my God! Hang on.
Yes, we have a one-armed security guard.
Breaking news. One-armed security guard now at the former Koger Executive Park. What do we call? What is this place called now?
I don't even know.
Bay Point?
Bay Lick? What Bay? What? What is it called?
Bay Point, I think.
Bay whatever.
Bayport?
Listen, we're in the Koger building. Our building is the Koger building, and like all the other buildings, I think are named for counties in the state of Florida.
Yeah, Baker, Glades.
Like the alligator apparently was in the Gilchrist.
Yeah, Gilchrist County.
Where the hell is Gilchrist is in the Panhandle, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I would guess so.
I think there are a total of 9 teeth in that entire county, Gilchrist County.
That alligator had more teeth in his head.
Oh yeah,
than all of Gilchrist County.
Yes. Yeah. So breaking news. Wait a sec. The security guard has passed. We're getting word right now that the gator chewed his head off. It wasn't just his arm; it was his arm and his head. So rest in peace. Can we fly the flags at half staff, please?
Poor guy.
For the security guard. Oh, and the gator also ate his entire golf cart.
Oh no.
Yeah. So the golf cart was chewed to bits as well.
They do eat stuff like golf carts.
They do. I think you're 100% correct.
All right, hold on. Do they really?
I mean, they eat stuff that you wouldn't think is edible.
All right, where the hell is Gilchrist County?
It's right next to Gainesville.
No, it's not.
It is, right next to Alachua.
It is?
Yeah.
I thought that was like Alachua or something.
Look, Alachua is Alachua.
Okay.
And then that's where Gainesville is.
Right.
And then to the west is Gilchrist, with the town of Trenton and...
Oh, okay. Gilchrist is just north of Chiefland.
Bell. Yeah.
God, you know, my sister-in-law lives in Chiefland.
Not a lot going on there, right?
Not a lot going on in Chiefland. You know, I have a, you know, I always get a little, tinge when I hear Chiefland. I always get a little emotional. So Michelle's sister and her, I guess it made it a common law, They live up in Chiefland.
How'd they end up there?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Did they have like some great? Is he the mayor of Chiefland?
No, he's not.
I mean,
no, he's a nice guy, but he's not the mayor of Chiefland. And in fact, I don't even think he's from Florida either. So my Michelle, her sister, she and her, well, not really husband, but they've been together for 10 years. That's why I said like common law. But they somehow settled in Chiefland. I don't know why they're there, but they are. But when I think of Chiefland, I hate to, introduce a downer here, but when I think of Chiefland, I always get a heavy and sad heart because the guy that did all the concrete on my house, so all of the masonry, all the block work, and it was a big company. I don't know if I think they're still around. It was McBride Masonry. McBride, they did all of my masonry, all the block on my house, first floor, second floor, all my concrete.
Right.
My second floor on my house is poured concrete. So my second floor is a 4-inch, concrete deck, metal pan, red steel. We kind of built my house pretty solid, and it was McBride and Mitch. McBride was he ran the company with his father. And they did a phenomenal job in my house. Even my staircases, like my main staircase going up.
We get it. You bought a lot of concrete.
Yeah.
What happened to Mitch?
Mitch was riding motorcycle. This is probably 15, 17 years ago already.
Oh no.
He was riding with a bunch of friends. They were doing a Harley trip on US 19 all the way up in Chiefland, and some inattentive maniac flew out of a side road and plowed into the motorcycle pack, and Mitch passed away. And he was the nicest guy. Had a great relationship. One of my favorite contractors on my house. And Michelle and I were pretty much the general contractors. And I hired and fired, and I fired numerous contractors on my house because they were. For instance, I had a plumbing contractor. The first plumber. We decided to move a bathtub from the one side of the bathroom to the other side, and they wanted like a $6,000 change order just to drill a new hole and just put the plumbing over there. I'm like, $6,000? What are you talking about? This place is a roughed in. It's nothing. You get the core driller. You just drill the concrete pan, and then you just move it. So I told that plumber to get the hell out of here.
You said you're fired.
$6,000. You're fired.
You're
$6,000 change order. Anyway. He was one of my favorite contractors,
Okay.
and I feel bad whenever I hear Chiefland. It makes me think of that.
Well, do you want me to switch topics to a more different, less
Anything
tragic
right now.
topic?
Anything would be great.
Okay, speaking of Chiefland, I just found a story about an alligator, and they were digging through the stomach, a 13-foot alligator, and they found
The security guard from the Koger Executive Park's head inside?
No, they
Oh.
found speaking of Chiefland, like I said,
Right.
Native American artifacts.
Wow.
And a fishing lure.
Like a teepee?
Yes, the whole
They found a wigwam inside the alligator. That's what they found.
Yeah, they ate all kinds of crazy stuff.
They found Osceola's merkin.
Hey, Andrew, so what happened to the alligator that was found in one of the office buildings right next to us?
That I did not hear.
Well, I mean, is it been sent to Louis Vuitton for shoes or a purse?
I don't know. There are bodies of water around. It could have watered in. I saw a gator out here one time years ago,
Yeah.
and it just wandered across the street.
We had about a 9-foot gator in the Gandhi parking lot years ago when we were on the other radio station, and they had to get a wrangler out there with duct tape and the whole damn thing. And
Made a big production out of it.
yeah, it was. I remember that. All right, 6:08 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling on a Wednesday. Busy show today. You're not going to want to miss one moment. First, Alligator Pat with traffic.
Still not a lot to do. Claire, and you're listening to the MJ Morning Show.
And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, my God. Holy frig.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
God.
o'er the land of the free?
Make it stop. Make it stop.
And the home
God.
of the brave.
Oh, God. All right. So, for the early listeners, I wanted to address this. We talked about this yesterday because on Monday night, it was the Home Run Derby,
Yeah.
which every year it kind of just pre-exists the All-Star game.
Yes, baseball.
Yeah, the baseball All-Star break. And that was country singer Ingrid Andress, who I've got to be honest, I've never heard of in my life. I know the least about country music of any genre. I mean, I know all the big names and like the maniac Morgan Wallen, who just canceled his Saturday show at he canceled Friday's
It was
show.
Friday's
yeah,
show,
Friday
yeah.
show. Canceled the Friday show at Ray J. Thursday went off, and then Friday he canceled that show. It'll be rescheduled for October. So look, I know the big happenings in country music, just the headline stuff. And well, this is a headline now. That's why I now know the name of Ingrid Andress.
And she has a couple of good
Yeah.
songs out there.
4-time Grammy nominee, and we actually played a little bit of one of her songs yesterday, and it's not bad. I mean, she's got a good voice. Well, guess what? That rendition of her doing the national anthem at the Home Run Derby was just a horror show. I mean, that was vomit coming out of my speakers. And, well, she's got an excuse now.
There's a reason.
Her excuse was that she was drunk off her ass, and now she's going into rehab.
Okay.
Oh, man. So is that her way to save the career? Is you fall on the liquor sword? Is that it?
I mean, did you read her statement? I'm not going to BS y'all.
Yeah. I was going to do that in an accident.
Okay, good.
I was going to do it in an accent, but accident might be a very good
Yeah.
Substitution.
I mean, I was giving
Yeah.
her every benefit of the doubt. I was thinking, well, it's really hard to pull that off. Maybe
Yeah.
there was something going on in her earpiece that was screwing her up.
No.
No.
There was something going on in her stomach.
In her liver.
Well, if that's true, but I mean, that's what she's saying.
Does it sound slurry?
Well, she took to social media yesterday and posted this. She posted this, I'm not going to bull bleep you. So she says she actually spelled out bull, S-C-H-I. She actually spelled out bull,
Yeah.
I'm not going to bull bleep y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a rehab facility today to get the help I need. That was not me last night. I apologize to MLB, all the fans, and this country. I love you so much for that rendition. What?
Okay, can I give you like about a five?
I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun.
I'm gonna
so
get-
that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Are you drunk? You just.
I'm
can't-
drunk.
just
No, I'm reading the statement and they cut it off. Okay, go ahead.
Feel the pacing. All right, go ahead.
You get a 5 out of 10 on your country accent. That's not that good.
Okay.
It depends what part he was. I mean, I thought that was like a northern Kentucky.
Can I try?
Go ahead. Yes.
I'm not going to BS y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help that I need.
Hold on. Are we having an accent off?
Yes,
It's an
we are.
accent.
Are the two of you doing dueling banjos but with accents?
We ought to have an interrupt off.
I will win every time. Well, no, you'll win.
She's really good.
You're really good too, MJ.
She's really good.
Go ahead. Well, hold on. You're not done. There's still
Oh,
more to the
okay.
statement.
Okay.
Because I don't understand it. There's one part of the statement I don't really understand.
It sounds like she was drunk while she was typing the statement.
It's quite possible. All right.
That was not me last night. I apologize to MLB, all the fans, and this country I love so much for that rendition. I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun.
And the country I love so much for that rendition. Wait a minute. Are you saying you love the country so much and your rendition was a drunk disaster and you love that? Oh, is there a comma missing? Does a comma change at all?
All right. So
I apologize to MLB, comma, all the fans, comma, Oxford, comma, and this country I love so much for that rendition. Even if you put a comma there, I don't understand that. I don't understand what she's saying.
I think she's saying, I apologize to this country, comma, I love so, this is the country I love so much for that rendition. Yeah, I think she needs two commas
Oh, okay,
there.
yeah. All right, so, yeah, it's like a run-on sentence. Yeah.
well,
All right.
we're gonna let her go on grammar, seeing as what she's been through over the last.
Then she's
48
going to check
hours.
into grammar rehab as well. So after she finishes the alcohol rehab, what if she's going to Hazelden or something? Or,
Okay, so it's one thing to be drunk
yeah.
and to do something like this just because you had too many, but it's another thing to be drunk and then go to rehab. She might have a really serious problem that's just now rearing its ugly head.
I think she ought to do like an Amy Winehouse cover song also.
Yeah.
The rehab song?
No, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, how does that go?
Now.
What is the actual lyric on that? They want me to go to rehab, and I said no. How does that go?
I think that's it. I haven't heard it in a
Andrew,
while.
do we have that in the computer? Do we have Amy Winehouse? Is that? I think Wild plays that. No, I'm kidding. All right.
It's actually on the
do you have
country
the song?
station.
The Winn-Dixie commercial ends in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Click it. Go. And next. Yep. Here we go. Ingrid Andress thing a little bit later on because, I want to do it later around the same time that we addressed this yesterday. But I wanted to also just bring that horrific rendition and then the follow-up to the early crowd here at 6:27. Hey, I have a couple of things I want to tease for later on in the program, and I'm very excited about a couple of things. First of all, I've got a little quiz. I stumbled upon some research regarding American history, and I was really shocked. I was taken aback at the results, and it's really just one historical question. And I want to ask Fester and Roxanne, and maybe even Andrew, the producer. Maybe I'll call Froggy at home. I want to know if you guys know the answer to the question. All right, so I've got a historical U.S. history question, which I want to ask you guys a little later on. Also, I have a new word that I stumbled across yesterday that I love. I have a new word that made me laugh out loud, and I can't wait to use this in our own content. So I will explain how I stumbled across this word. It was
It's a real word?
Or
is it an MJ made-up word?
No. It's a made-up word of two words merged to one to describe something, and it is fantastic. I love it. And it's in a story about something that happened at a national park. So something happened at one of our well-known national parks, and those that were a part of this issue have a name. And I love it. And it's coming up in just a bit here on the MJ Morning Show. Also, Michelle has diagnosed me with a disorder.
Oh.
And I'm going to get to this probably, 7:45. I got something else at 7:45. 7:45, we got to talk about super synchronizers. Now, Roxanne, did you say you knew about super synchronizers or no? Well, you're going to look it up now if you didn't. But I thought...
I was guessing. I made a guess about it. That's right. We never got to it.
No, we
did
didn't. I teased it.
You teased it.
And I never got to it.
No, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I my guess was.
So I made it the 7:45 must-hear deal this
Okay.
morning. So 7:45 this morning, super synchronizers, and it's really kind of interesting. And then maybe after that, we'll call Michelle because she has diagnosed me with I don't know if it's a mental disorder. I think it's more of a processing disorder. And Michelle's like reading out these little symptoms, and she's laughing at every one. Oh, that's you. That's you. Oh, that's you. That's you. That's you. That's you. That's you. That's you. That. So Michelle with a diagnosis on me later on. 6:30 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back in minutes, you know it. It's Morons in the News. Great pile of Morons in the News in minutes on a spectacular Wednesday show. You don't want to miss one moment of this program. Let me give you... 6:39 at the MJ Morning Show. Oh, a little early. This is great. More time for morons in the news. Welcome, folks. 6:39. It is a Wednesday on the MJ Morning Show. First up in morons in the news. I don't know if there's an update on this yet, but a popular weather guy. You know, think of the really popular TV weather guys here in the Tampa Bay market.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to associate their names with this particular story.
Okay.
Because, you know, someone will misconstrue it and say, hey, yeah, Paul, hey, Dennis, MJ was mentioning you. And, you know, no. I just want you to look at a popular weather person.
The level of notoriety that they have in a town.
There is a guy in Cincinnati. It's WCPO, which I've heard of that TV station. It's a big TV station in Cincinnati. And there is a popular weather guy by the name of Steve Raleigh. And he is in the thick of things. He is being raked over the coals, and there are many calls for him to be fired after a road rage accident left an elderly couple injured. Yeah, you know, when you think of a TV weather guy, you know, road rage and an injured elderly couple, just, you know, it doesn't kind of go together.
Not at all, because you just picture their sweet TV voice and, oh, it's going to be sunny today. Yeah, no.
How did this go down?
A popular Ohio weatherman facing calls for his firing after his family was allegedly involved in a caught-on-camera road rage incident that left an elderly couple badly beaten with bruises, cuts, and concussions.
Oh, no.
They were concussed. WCPO chief meteorologist Steve Raleigh was allegedly filmed in a brawl after his son Carter failed to yield to traffic in the parking lot of a local restaurant, causing their Cadillac Escalade to plow into 79-year-old Douglas Nathaniel Morrow's Ford F-150. According to the Cincinnati City Beat. The minor collision into Morrow's truck quickly turned violent after a large fight broke out, according to the Cincinnati Enquirer. 911 was called. Chaotic video of the brutal assault, which left Morrow, his 76-year-old wife, and son badly beaten, was shared on Facebook by his daughter, Stacy Morrow Stickrod. Love that name, Stickrod.
That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, Stickrod. Who wrote, "These were locally famous people, and in my opinion, believe that they're above the law. A man and a woman can be seen lying on the ground in the parking lot as someone begs, please, she's bleeding, she's bleeding." The frantic footage also shows men shoving each other as Red Sox legend Kevin Youkilis.
Kevin Euclid, that's a big name.
Yeah, who also happened to be dining at the restaurant.
So this is one of, I don't know if you know Cincinnati restaurants that well.
Right.
This is the historic Montgomery Inn Boathouse, which is one of their legendary restaurants.
I've never been there. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
You know what? Wait, I think I might have been. Wait a minute.
Old J-Corps used to be right across the river.
Wait a minute. You know what? I have been there. When we went up there years ago for one of the big Cincinnati fireworks displays for our J-Corps stations up there, you know what? We ate there. Oh, my God. I have been there.
Wow.
I mean, if you were to go to one or two restaurants in Cincinnati, the Montgomery Inn Boathouse would be on that list.
And the other would be Skyline Chili.
Which you can find in almost every strip mall.
And also on US 19 or some.
Is still open?
Well, there's one.
There's one in Clearwater.
I remember a car drove through one of them recently, didn't
they?
Yeah, Skyline Chili. I like Skyline Chili. Anyway, so it turns out that Kevin Youkilis, a well-known former Red Sox player, he's there as well.
Wow.
He rushed in to stop the violence and yells, "Are you serious? He hit a effing woman." So Morrow Strickrod, that's the daughter of the victims, wrote in her July 10th post that her father had called the police after a minor accident because he suspected that the suspects had been drinking because of the smell of alcohol. This set off the people, causing my brother and both my parents to be attacked. Noting her mother took the brunt of the injuries. There's a picture of her in a hospital bed.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
There's a picture of her in a hospital bed. She's all bruised. She's got wires coming out of her arm and everything. She's got her little pulse oximeter on her fingertip. She's in a hospital. In that typical hospital bed with the rails and everything. She was knocked unconscious, had a concussion, fractured skull, bleeding on the brain, contusion on the back of her head that was stapled shut. And the lens that was put into her eye was detached and needs replaced. Please. No, it needs to be replaced.
Just a couple more words.
Yeah. And that drives me nuts. That's one of those colloquialisms or one of those misuses. And like somebody that says, my house needs painted. No, your house needs to be painted. When people do that, oh, yeah, that needs painted. No, it needs to be painted. All right?
To be.
And she had some kind of a lens implant put in her eye, that detached, and that needs to be replaced, doesn't need replaced. Anyway, this woman is beaten to hell. Her mother also had cuts and bruises covering her arms and legs. This is a smackdown, man. There are worse injuries than like a WWE wrestling match here. Her father suffered a concussion, was knocked unconscious. Youkilis, the former Red Sox player who intervened in the dispute and saved Morrow Strickrod's mother, according to her Facebook post, also took to social media to clarify that he did not know any of the individuals involved in the dispute.
Oh, he's not familiar with all the weathermen in town?
He said, unfortunately, I was a little too late and saw a horrible chain of events unfold. My intentions after what I witnessed was to help the two individuals on the ground and to protect anyone else from being harmed. That's what Euclid wrote.
So what happens to this weather guy?
Well, that's what's going on here. Is the weather guy's involved, and he's the chief meteorologist for the ABC affiliate WCPO in Cincinnati. That's why I'm like saying, what if this story involved one of our local weather guys?
Yeah.
I'm personal friends with, the weather, the chief meteorologist over the years. I've been personal friends and still, Steve Jervy. Talk to Steve occasionally. He's the former chief at Channel 8. Great guy. Paul Delgado, I've known him for decades and decades. So I just spoke to Paul Delgado a few days ago.
Lucky Paul.
Yeah. And then, of course, Dennis Phillips. I've become very friendly with Dennis Phillips and his family. Dennis Phillips and ABC Action News and Channel 28 Weather. They're the partners here at the Beasley station. So during hurricane season, you hear me talk to Dennis Phillips because they're our weather partners. But I'm just trying to think. This is one of those level names, big meteorological weather guy names in this market. I mean, this dude in Cincy is one of those big names, but in Cincinnati. And here, they're putting elderly people in the hospital after some kind of an altercation in a parking lot of a restaurant.
All right, so here's the front page of WCPO, Channel 9 Cincinnati's webpage.
ABC, yeah.
Buried about halfway down.
Right.
3 hurt in assault outside Montgomery Inn. Family calls for accountability. They don't mention it's their own weatherman?
No. Okay, then when you click on it, then it says involving Steve Raleigh and family. Oh man!
Whoa.
Yeah, once you click on it,
Their own site has to...
so here's their own story. An investigation is underway after 3 people, including 79-year-old man and 76-year-old woman, were hurt in a fight outside the Montgomery Inn boathouse last month that involved WCPO 9 chief meteorologist Steve Raleigh and at least one member of his family. I mean, there could be arrests. I mean, it sounds like the son of the weather guy need to be arrested for beating the living bleep out of this elderly couple.
Sounds like the weather guy has an alter ego.
This is just a mess. It's nuts. Here's a statement. We are aware of the incident involving Steve Raleigh's family. WCPO Vice President General Manager Jeff Brogan wrote, it is still under investigation, and at this time, no charges have been filed against anyone.
Is he on leave? I mean, was he on the news last night? In other news, a heat wave coming through Cincinnati, and I was involved in beating the crap out of some elderly people.
I don't see anything that suggests that he's off the air pending the investigation. Since the altercation, though, Raleigh, the weather guy, he's deleted all of his social media accounts.
Good idea.
So all Facebook, Instagram, X. I guess he's deleted all of his social media accounts.
You know, my favorite part of local news is that 2 or 3 seconds of banter that they have to have, the most awkward part of the news where they really don't know what to say.
Hey,
always,
Steve, tell us about the ass beating in the Montgomery Boathouse parking lot after the 10-day forecast.
Shut up, Elaine.
You know how they
get
have
to the weather.
You know when they have the little like actuator noise? I don't know who started it, but then no, not that.
Oh.
When they go to like the 5-day or the 7-day or the 10-day forecast, a lot of they'll do the
the chimes.
They'll do little, and somebody started that like, 15, 20 years ago, and then everyone started copying that whenever you go to the 5 or 7-day forecast, that they play a little noise, like a little identifier. And I'm thinking maybe on Channel 9 in Cincinnati, when they go to the 7-day forecast with this dude, I'm thinking maybe it's something like, how about that? Just representing the smackdown of the elderly couple. Yeah, but apparently this guy, I don't see where the guy's been taken off the air. Posts on the TV station's Facebook page were flooded with comments from local viewers calling for Raleigh's firing, with one angered watcher writing, the real scam is WCPO with covering up the beatdown of an elderly couple at the boathouse.
I mean, it's right there on their front page of their website.
Yeah. The last I saw, well, they probably forced into doing that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that was kind of late in the game. But And they ought to put that story just to Jason the Weather before you go to him. I don't know if he's off the air. Go to the bottom of the story. Does it say anything that he's currently...
It goes into the details
Yeah.
of the altercation. Talks about Kevin Youkilis.
Yeah, the Red Sox guy that stepped in. We continue to monitor developments and official findings of the police investigation of the incident involving Steve Rawley's family. WCPO will cover the story with a commitment to balanced reporting. Since Steve's family is the subject of a news story, he will be off work for now.
For
Right,
now.
So there we go.
Okay.
So it does say, I wanted to see the very bottom, and there it is. He will be off work for now.
That's kind of a soft way to put it.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
before he's off work forever.
Yeah.
Once advertisers drop, once the mattress firm says...
Here we go. A weekend meteorologist, Stimpy Fleckmore, will be filling in for Steve Raleigh.
Let's go to Stimpy Fleckmore with the 5-day forecast.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be filling in for Steve.
Man, that consumed all of Morons in the News, but that's
Yeah,
a hell,
that's a good
that's
one.
a hell of a story right there.
Hearty one.
Just imagine if it was one of our local TV weather people involved in a beatdown in the Burns parking lot.
Have we had any
Right.
anchors get in big trouble? Big
historically,
I mean, I can think of a couple of DUIs
Yeah, we had a
from
couple
TV
of
people.
yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 DVs.
Yeah, we had one local anchor for years that, man, he used to get lit between the 6 and 11. All right.
You can tell.
Yeah. All right. 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. There we go. Early Morons in the News on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I have some news to report. With all the rain, I have developed a little roof leak.
No.
Yep, I have developed a roof leak at a hip. I have a kind of a complicated roof. It's just a lot of crap going on with lines and valleys and ridges. And I noticed in a back room, I noticed. It is 7:02 at the MJ Morning Show. Welcome to the world-famous 7 o'clock hour. This includes the beginning of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Happens around 7:25 this morning, so about 20 minutes, 24 minutes from right now. 24, 25 minutes from right now. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. I mentioned that there's a new word that I love that I just saw yesterday. I'll bring you up to speed on that in this segment. Hey, I want to do a little shout out, a little mention. This week I ran into Ricky. I ran into Ricky in my neighborhood.
Oh, Ricky.
Yeah, and Ricky was working as a Tico People's Gas contractor in my neighborhood. And I guess Ricky recognized, well, I don't guess he did. Ricky recognized me. So I'm with Chloe, and we're driving. Chloe wanted to stop at the supermarket, get a couple of things, because, she's bringing some of her lunches to work, so she'll make a little lunch at home. Now that, Chloe has a full-time job, Chloe's going to be working for over a year at the state attorney's office, down with, Susie Lopez and, the great state attorney's office, the 13th Judicial right here in west coast of Florida. So, Chloe is working in the office now, and she's doing this for a little over a year before she goes to law school.
What great experience.
So she's going to have great experience in the 13th down at the state attorney's office for Hillsborough County, and really like what Susie Lopez has done there and so's law enforcement. Law enforcement is very happy that she kind of, grabbed that office by the horns and started prosecuting criminals properly. Not like what had been going on in that office. So Chloe is working there, and she applied and got the job, which I think is fantastic. And she's going to get great legal experience. So Chloe's, making some of her own lunches or goes out to lunch every day. And, this is good for Chloe, fiscal responsibility, and it's a very exciting time for her. Very exciting time. So here's the deal. I'm in the car with Chloe. We're leaving the neighborhood. And I see that there are a bunch of work trucks as I'm rounding a bend, leaving my neighborhood, and I slow down because they've got work trucks. I see guys with the construction reflective vests on, and I saw that it was, Tico People's Gas contractor. I'm like, hope there's not a gas leak, because there was a gas leak on my street about 2.5 weeks ago. I have a good track record with Tico People's Gas people recognizing me, because the crew that was down the street from me, they also recognized me because I saw they were out there, and now a bunch of guys, and they had little sniffer units out there, and it was a gas leak. And it turned out, you're gonna love this. What are the guys out there doing the, when they go out and they probe the ground with either a stick or they've got an electronic unit to find buried utilities? The whole, what is it, call 511 or 811 before you dig?
Is it? Yeah.
It's one of those things,
Yeah.
Before you dig, don't electrocute yourself, or, don't rupture a gas line. So it turns out that one of these electrical or one of these utility finder places, they pierced the gas line. They think that they were looking for other utilities, whether it was sewer, water, cable, whatever, and they nicked the gas line. So the company
In Florida, it's 811, by the way.
So 811. Before you dig, call 811.
Yes.
So don't blow yourself up or electromacute yourself. So, by the way, that's a good word, electromacute. Electromacute. So don't electromacute yourself. So the guy that's supposed to be finding the buried utilities, he actually broke a gas line.
He found it.
Yeah, he found it. So
If I'm the best there is, it's right there.
and I guess the guy just left. He didn't even know it. And then the neighbor down the street is smelling gas, and then called Tico, and they rush right out there. If you're smelling gas, they're out there pretty quickly. And they found the ruptured line, and then while I was out there, I said, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, yeah, ruptured gas line. We're just going to patch this thing up. And the guy said, hey, MJ, hey, we listen every morning. So that was good. That was a couple of weeks ago. And then 2 days ago, I think this is Monday. Yeah, Monday, 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I'm leaving with Chloe to go to the supermarket. And I'm going slow because, again, there's a whole bunch of these work trucks as I'm, rounding this bend on my street. And I slow down, and I see them standing there, and I'm like, hey, what's going on now? So I roll the window down, and before I could even say, hey, what's going on, the guy goes, MJ, listen to you every morning. And dude's name is Ricky.
All right, Ricky.
So Ricky works for a Tico People's Gas contractor, and it turns out that it was nothing as exciting as a gas leak. They were just putting in a new gas line for some neighbor that's getting a generator, I guess.
Why don't you call me when somebody's house in your neighborhood blows up or something?
Bite your lip.
I mean, I don't
like
wish.
really, like those awful stories where the house is reduced to a box of matches. Really? Why would you say something grotesque and callous like that?
Because occasionally,
What's wrong with you?
Occasionally, we make macabre jokes.
Oh, okay. That's a
It's a macabre joke.
So you're hoping that someone's house blows up with a natural gas explosion, leaving nothing larger than a toothpick, and then scattering stuff over a quarter mile And you think that's a funny joke? What's wrong with you?
You know what? I could see some humor in it.
I can't see humor in it.
Just a skosh.
I'm sorry. There's no humor.
Not like
No humor. House blowing up in my neighborhood with a gas explosion. Not funny.
No.
No funny.
A hair.
No,
Yeah.
no funny.
It's not belly laugh
Not funny.
It's not like
Not
like that.
not funny.
But it's like like that.
Not funny.
Sardonic.
All right, where are we? 7:08 at the MJ Morning Show. You ready for the word that I learned yesterday that I love? And I don't know what it is. I've got two stories involving a national park.
Oh no.
Same national park. The first one I had in the pile earlier this week. I just didn't get around to it, but it makes perfect sense here. And the word that I learned yesterday also applies to them as well. The first item, and of course, it's the summer travel season. The national parks are jammed.
Absolutely.
And one of the biggest jammed up parks is Yellowstone.
It's a beautiful park.
Yeah, I've been to Yellowstone only once in the dead of winter. Michelle and I, years ago, just before kids, we took a snowmobile ride from the south entrance of Yellowstone, near Jackson Hole, and we drove 93 miles round trip on a snowmobile to Old Faithful in the middle of the wintertime around Christmas. It was fantastic. 93 miles on a snowmobile. My body was vibrating for the next week and a half.
I was about to say your ass must have been numb.
Yeah, we each had a snowmobile. Michelle had a snowmobile. We took a tour all the way. It was really, really cool. Enjoyed the hell out of it. So the first story, 5 were rushed to the hospital after their SUV plunged off the road while driving into Yellowstone into a hot acidic geyser.
Oh.
Talk about the worst possible place that you could veer off the road into a hot acidic geyser lake.
I didn't know the roads were that close to the acid pits.
They went right down an embankment. They left the road and right down an embankment, right into an acidic geyser. Yeah.
Ooh, that does not sound fun.
Hot water. So 5 people rushed to the hospital. The car they were riding in went off the road into this inactive acidic geyser. Officials said that the people involved in the accident were spotted Thursday morning driving near the semi-centennial geyser thermal pool before the vehicle drove off the road down an embankment and fell into the water. Yeah. All the passengers were taken to the hospital with the non-life-threatening injuries. All right, so keep that in mind. The water is 105 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's not terrible.
No, but some of these geysers are like
almost
like boiling.
Oh, some will burn your face off. Absolutely.
105 degrees is a hot tub.
All right, so that's the first Yellowstone idiot story. And it's the second story where this new term comes about, and I love it. And this term could be used anywhere. In certain situations, this is not just Yellowstone specific. This can be used anywhere, and we're going to use this from now on.
In any park, or you mean in any situation?
Any situation.
Okay.
Involving tourists. So any situation. It doesn't matter where. It could be some schmuck in line at the Empire State Building up in New York, a tourist from, I don't know, from Stockholm or something, wherever.
Anywhere.
Yeah. The latest story is that, and this is Yellowstone, don't get too close to the animals. And this happens all the time. Let's get a picture really close to that wild bison. No, don't. Stay away from the moose. Moose are very angry as well. A family of tourists were caught chasing after a bison. And guess what? The bison wanted no part of it. The bison then started chasing them.
Good.
Yep. They were chased by a bison after they got too close to the beast. So they were trying to chase the bison, get close for a picture, and the bison ends up chasing them. The video of the family of 4 was posted on an Instagram account called Torons
Oh, no.
of Yellowstone.
That's great.
There is an Instagram account called Torons of Yellowstone. And that is a merge of tourist and moron.
Yeah, put that together.
So if you're a tourist moron, you're a Toron.
I love that.
So we can have like a side segment of Torons in the news.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, in Florida, we have got to be the Toron capital of the world, if not the United States.
Yeah, I would think so. We've got, not only do we have Florida man, but we have tons of Torons.
We do. The new word that I love, and I will make it part of my personal lexicon, I've added that to my vocabulary list, Toron, a tourist who is a moron. And they were then featured on this Torons of Yellowstone Instagram account. Have you gone there yet?
I tried to click the link and it said the page was down.
Come on, how would the page be down?
I'm telling you. Look, right here's his Instagram.
No, just don't go with the link. Just go to Instagram itself and then just type in, do a search for tourists or Torons of Yellowstone.
All right.
Yeah, go right to Instagram.
Toron.
Torons, space, Torons, S. Yeah, you need to do, there we go. You found it right there. Look at that.
Look at these people so close to the bear.
Oh, yeah. Here's a lady that is very close to a bear. Bear starts charging her. And then she walks away, and the bear kind of stops.
Yeah.
But obviously, listen, you don't want to get near like a bear mommy, and if she's got cubs nearby, they'll scratch your face off.
Oh, yeah, I
You'll
would
think
think
nothing of it.
That's the whole thing where the expression mama bear.
Exactly. So, Toron, a tourist moron. And there's this whole Instagram page dedicated to these idiot tourists that do dumbass things. You're a Toron, you bozo. So there we go. I love it. Absolutely love it.
You put all these roads through the park, and it gets right up into the animals' faces.
Hey, Fester.
Yes.
I know that you're you like the Cybertruck?
Listen, I'm not mad at it like you are. I think it's a pretty unique looking vehicle.
You think?
I get
But-
a little thrill when it drives
But yeah,
by.
I mean, I've probably seen 20 Cybertrucks in the last 6-8 months, and every time, hey,
Yeah.
there's a Cybertruck.
I'll give it a
there's
look.
Cybertruck. Yeah.
I have a Cybertruck update.
What is it being recalled or something?
Well, there's a lot of that going on.
Was it
but no.
rusting? What?
Tesla has amended the policy, which was blocking Cybertruck owners from selling their trucks. You had to sign some kind of an agreement that you couldn't sell your truck for a year.
A lot of car companies do that.
Yeah,
Though. Don't
look-
make it sound like it's Tesla
Yeah,
specific.
but what if you don't want it? Or there've been cases where people got it, they didn't like it, they wanted to get rid of it, not because they wanted to flip it for a buck, or people that it won't fit in their garage. Or there was a story where some guy bought a Cybertruck and it would not fit in the parking space at his apartment building. And, he had to try to sell the truck.
You don't check that out before you buy a car? I got to fit in my spot.
Well, turns out that a guy out in Salt Lake City sold his Cybertruck late last month after he and several owners of the problem-plagued pickup successfully challenged a prohibitive Tesla policy that barred resales of the chunky, hard-to-find vehicles for at least a year after purchase. And, well, apparently Tesla's now amending the policy, and people will be able to sell their Cybertrucks.
I think there was such a demand for them and such a limited supply that they had to do that to keep from people flipping them.
I know somebody that went on the wait list in 2019, put $100 down in 2019 on the Cybertruck, and just picked theirs up 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So they were on the list for 5 years, and they finally got the call 2 weeks ago. Hey, your truck's in. Remember that deposit you put down of $100 in 2019?
We're going to need the other $120,000 right now.
But good news, if he hates it, he can sell it and not be penalized now. Apparently, they've loosened the policy. 7:16 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. 1 hour, 20 minutes nonstop MJ the minute we get back. We're going to talk about super synchronizers. Are you a super synchronizer? Michelle has diagnosed me with a disorder. We'll talk to Michelle coming up and talk about this disorder. We have just a lot of stuff coming up. I'm looking at my pile here, and we got a Burger King problem. We have a total have it your way problem. We'll get into that. This is not the way you handle things. I can't even scratch the surface of what we're going to cover in an hour and 20 minutes next, but it's all rock solid content, minutes away here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. It is rolling up on 7:25 at the MJ Morning Show, and this is it. 1 hour and 20 minutes. Plus, it's never under an hour and 20 minutes, and it really is never exactly an hour and 20 minutes. You always get more than an hour and 20 minutes of non-stop MJ. Got a favor to ask. I'll get to that here in just a bit. Also, Lukens, our friends at Lukens are having another special signing event with a celeb from a very, very popular cult following TV show. And they've given me a couple of VIP, line-beaten passes and just free six-pack of this particular liquor. So hang on, we got a big surprise if you're a fan of this TV show, and there are many because it is hysterical. You have a chance to meet one of the big celebs behind the show. So hang on, we'll get to that here in just a bit. Let's just dive in. Got a lot to deal with here. I also have the little quiz. I have a little quiz I want to run by Roxanne and Fester and Andrew, and we'll see if the listening audience, you'll be able to follow along and see if you know the answer to the question. So a little test, little quiz, kind of a civics question coming up in just a bit. Roxanne, you sent me a little note about a friend of yours who had a child rush to the hospital with a barbecue injury.
Yes, I believe a teenager. So not a young child, but this is crazy. And
we're not talking about a barbecue explosion. It's not like one of those deals where you light the grill as a gas buildup and kablamo.
Right.
Hey, Andrew, can you find Fester? He's probably asleep on the couch in the office because he likes to take a snoozer during that commercial break. Fester needs a nap. So he naps for like 6 minutes, and then he falls asleep and doesn't wake up. So if he's missing like he is now, guaranteed he's just sleeping on the couch. All right, so Roxanne, is this a good friend of yours?
It's more of an acquaintance, but it's a good friend of my sister's.
Okay, so that's why you didn't know whether Fester, were you sleeping? Were you napping?
No.
Where were you?
No, dude, I told you. I know where the good candy drawer is.
So you can't get to the candy
you.
drawer and back in 7 minutes?
I didn't know. I didn't know I was in such a time crunch.
Dude, we do the same thing every day.
Okay, maybe.
We do the same damn thing every single day.
Yeah, but look,
All
we
right,
got
so,
Reese's peanut butter
all right,
cups.
so Roxanne, so this is a friend of your sister's. So
Yes.
you got this. So that's why you didn't know whether the
But
kid was a teenager or not. But
Correct.
you think the
correct.
kid might be a teenager?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, what happened?
So it made me think of your little thing that you mentioned yesterday that you're avoiding cutting on a plastic cutting board and you want to move to a wooden cutting board
Well,
because of the plastics you ingest.
We have wooden cutting boards, but we have probably more plastic cutting boards for vegetable prep or slicing fish or beef or chicken. And I mean, it's a real thing. And I'm not one of these, flavor of the day, what's ailing us today. I'm not into the latest and greatest on, every little health trend or every little warning or, oh, this is going to kill us. This is going to kill us. But it is legit when you're cutting on plastic cutting boards and you're slicing and dicing and chopping. And I'm like doing a Ginsu commercial at home. You are chopping up little fine pieces of plastic and it is making its way into our food. And I've seen a demonstration with normal like chopping and cutting. You take the vegetables off and then you then kind of scrape off the little plastic pieces. And you collect. I mean, it can be significant. So I'm trying to get away from using the plastics that will shed little microplastics that we're ingesting.
I know, but some of them are so delicious.
No, they're not delicious.
Oh.
So I'm trying to go back to more wooden cutting board, or they also say like the rubber cutting boards. There's rubberized cutting boards also don't have that microplastic issue, but the good rubber ones, those are expensive.
Yeah, I just eat a credit card just to really test my oxidative, abilities of my body.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Okay.
And then you can just take your head or your stomach and just put it up to the credit card machine. You know, the tap and go? You can just tap your stomach and go. Yeah.
Belly tap.
You've ingested the RFID chip or whatever that thing is. All right. So your friend or your sister's friend's kid was rushed to the hospital.
Yes.
Because of a barbecue injury and me talking about microplastics.
Because we're talking about the dangers of particular kitchen utensils, kitchen equipment.
And?
So he was rushed to have emergency surgery to remove metal from his throat.
I know what it is. I know exactly what it is.
You know what he did? He ate
a barbecue cleaning brush bristle that fell off the brush, ended up on the barbecue grill deck, ended up in his chicken or beef or whatever was being cooked.
A hamburger.
Hamburger.
You'd never notice it.
And you got a metal freaking wire brush cleaner for a barbecue, and the bristle comes off. It gets stuck in his food. He ingests it. And next thing you know, you got a wire barbecue bristle cleaner brush stuck in your esophagus.
Right. And I was talking further with my brother-in-law about it, who is a big barbecuer. And he was like, that's why I always use tinfoil. Because is that what you do, Fester?
Yeah,
because
tinfoil.
I know you're
Tinfoil's the way
barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, tinfoil's the way to go.
You know, and I've brought this up in the past. And listen, I'm not trying to, bust on barbecues, but I am not the biggest barbecue fan. Like for me, the perfect steak is not on a barbecue. For me, the perfect steak that I really like is in a carbon steel or an iron skillet, cast iron. You sear each side for a couple of minutes, and then you put the pan directly into the oven and broil it at 425, to achieve the, and I'm a medium rare guy. For me, properly salted and seasoned, the right amount of butter.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I really love a steak. I'm not a huge barbecue fan. I'd rather have like a flat top smash burger versus a burger done on the grill. So I guess I'm a little anti-grill to a certain extent. And here, I've heard of this before. I've heard of people ingesting wire brush bristles from the cleaning brushes, and this is not new. I've heard of this numerous times.
And he's lucky, they were able to do the emergency surgery. He's doing well, but they said this happens off. I mean,
So-
I don't know if often is the right word, but this is a thing.
No,
It
no, I
happens.
think it happens fairly often.
Those brushes that you buy, they're the cheapest thing. They're very inexpensive, and they only break down. Once they get a little bit of wear to them, I stopped using them because I found metal wires coming off of them.
I mean,
now it's only aluminum foil.
Yeah, so they had to open up his side. I mean, do you know what they did to get in?
I don't know. It was, like I said, it's my sister's friend, so she was communicating with her, and she wasn't asking those specific questions. She just wanted to make sure he was doing okay.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
Because you guys to be careful, folks, that if you are barbecuing and you do use a wire cleaning brush, you got to make sure that that surface is completely clear and clean and devoid of any wire bristles that have come off the brush that could get into the food, that could become a foreign object. And here you got a kid that had to be rushed to the hospital and had to undergo surgery to get wire bristle out of his throat or his esophagus.
So
Scary.
I typed in barbecue brush wire and then the word throat into Google
Yeah.
and then hit news. And over the last couple of years, there's about a couple of dozen stories.
Oh, look at this. The first one that comes up is from the Deseret News. That's Salt Lake City. So the newspaper in Salt Lake City, Deseret News. Listen to this headline. This is 2 weeks ago. 3 surgeries later, man warning about barbecue tools' hidden danger. What are the hidden dangers in summer? Why is barbecue grill brush dangerous? How are people injured in the summer? And then this goes into a whole story. Wow. Barbecue brush warning after bacon and egg roll almost cost 9-year-old her life.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah, you know what? You go to someone's house for a backyard barbecue, and now I've got a survey, and I got to hover over. I need to bring a magnet, and I need to scan the whole grill top with a magnet to remove any stray bristles. I mean, you're at a friend's house for a simple backyard barbecue, and maybe they didn't make sure the surface was clean, and next thing you know, you're choking and gagging near death with wire bristles in your damn throat.
And
Wow.
they can travel, they can go to, all the way down your digestive system.
Here, another woman. She had chicken kebabs, and the only thing that got skewered was her throat from a wire bristle from the cleaning brush.
From the cleaning brush. You do a Google search on this, and it is nonstop.
Pediatric ER doctor warns about the
Danger of wire grill brush. Look
Yeah.
at this. I mean, this is a nonstop thread that festers on. He just typed in barbecue brush wire throat.
What it feels like to have a barbecue brush bristle in your throat.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those cognitive tests. Try to remember these words: barbecue brush wire throat. Man, camera, woman, TV, or whatever the heck that was.
Using a wire brush to clean your grill comes with a gnarly health risk.
Look at this.
From Self Magazine.
PSA, using a wire brush to clean your grill comes with a gnarly health risk. That's the headline. And Roxanne's sister has a friend where that kid was just knocked into the hospital with emergency surgery. Locally, right here, right?
Yes. Thank goodness he's doing okay now. Thank goodness. Is there going to be a proper etiquette? Is it okay if I start asking friends if I go to their house for a barbecue? Hey, no wire brushes, right? Wire brush free.
Wire brushes! I said no wire
Let him go.
brushes!
It'll be over in a second, guys.
Andrew just said in my ear, scariest movie ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that? 1981 Mommy Dearest?
Oh,
Mommy
yeah,
Dearest,
Mommy
yeah.
Dearest.
What,
yeah.
what year did that come
I think
out?
it was before
I don't know,
81.
but I was like a kid. I was I don't even think I was a teenager when that thing. Yeah, look it up. I don't think I was even a teenager when that movie. That movie. Oh, it was 81. So
Oh, it was, okay.
I was a teenager, and I was in 81. I was 15, right? 15. I was 15 years old in 81, and man, that movie scared the hell out of me. Joan Crawford's story, and there's that no why. Do you have the? Can you find that scene? Hey, Andrew, can you find that quickly on YouTube? Is this it?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It says no wire hangers. All right, hold on. Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and hit it. Yeah, go back. Go back. There it is. Here, roll it. Go.
No wire hangers! What's wire
wire hangers doing in this closet when I told you no wire hangers ever?
Oh, man.
Ooh, that gives me bad goosebumps.
Oh, man, she was psychotic because she had a rule. She didn't want any clothes in the closet on wire hangers. She had some kind of a... Can you imagine?
That's not a terrible rule.
Can
I mean,
you
they really
imagine-
do mess up the shoulders.
Can you imagine how she would react to wire bristles contaminating your food from a barbecue?
What about underwire bras?
No under wire bras ever! Wow.
I should make my kids watch this just to remind them how good they have it.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good idea. You think you have it tough at home? Here, watch Mommy Dearest. You want to scare the crap out of your kids? Show them that
I
movie.
had my son pick up his Matchbox cars and he gave me a pout. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Over Matchbox?
Hey, Mommy, show your kids Mommy Dearest and then tell your kids you're about 2 seconds away from that. You guys are punching my buttons. You're just on my last nerve. You're about to get this right here. Watch this movie. All right, you want to talk about decorum?
Yes.
Oof. I'm sorry. This is just really pushing it. This to me is like theft. A guy brings back a playground set that he bought at Costco in 2008 for $1,400 because his kids are all grown up now and they don't need it.
And
He got a full refund.
What?
He bought a playground set at Costco in 2008 for $1,400. The kids used it, abused it. They're totally grown up now. He takes it out of his yard, takes it apart, brings it back to Costco from 2008. 16 years later?
did he have the receipt still?
They gave him his money back. He got all $1,400 back. So essentially, he just like borrowed the playground set from Costco. And that, to me, that is ridiculous. I know that Costco and Sam's, a lot of these warehouse clubs, they have very liberal return policies.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I can't condone this behavior. To me, that's almost like stealing the damn thing. And of course, Fester's going to fully approve of this.
The company needs to change their policy.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a rule and you're not breaking their rule, he didn't walk in there with a mask and a gun. He said, hey, I'm bringing this back. And at any point, they could have probably said, no.
You know, this to me is tantamount to robbery. I don't condone
It's
this.
not robbery. The place says if you don't want it anymore or you don't like it, bring it back. And he goes, okay, I'm bringing it back. Here it is. Give me my money. Okay. Everybody seems like willing participants in this.
I bet you we can go to phones and ask people, what have you brought back to Costco or
Oh, yeah.
Sam's Club? And I'm sorry, I do not agree with this. I cannot subscribe to this type of behavior.
Dude, I bought an all-weather Adirondack chair from Sam's Club that can hold like 450 pounds because it was meant for fat people.
Mhm.
And it's been sitting out in the sun for 3 years.
Yep.
And guess what happened last time I sat in it? Crack. I heard the plastic crack.
Oh, jeez.
Right?
Oh, well, hold on. It's a plastic Adirondack
It's
chair?
like a reinforced. It's not the cheapo one. It was like $100 chair.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
a good Adirondack chair ought to be made out of, good quality wood.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one. Anyway, it cracked. I'm bringing it back. I'm like, hey, yep. I bought it 3 years ago, and it's cracked. And they're going to give me my money back. And that's the policy, and that's okay. Or they change their policy. They say returns within 6 months or within a year.
Yeah.
We had stories before of people bringing couches back because they changed the decor of their house. They buy the couch at Costco,
Yeah.
use it for 4 years, and like, okay, we're going to redecorate. Just bring it on back.
Doesn't match anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't subscribe to that.
Okay, that's you, but that's their policy.
Hey, we got a little follow-up here. We played this audio yesterday. I also treated, I don't know if treated is a good word.
You tortured.
I that's a much better word, Fester. I tortured the audience a little earlier this morning by playing an excerpt from that country singer Ingrid Andress's rendition of the national anthem at the Home Run Derby on ESPN on Monday night, because the Home Run Derby happens the day before the All-Star game, and she just destroyed the national anthem. I mean, this was just so awful.
And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting.
Oh, my God. Somebody stop
in
it.
the home of the brave.
Oof. All right. Ingrid Andress, 4-time Grammy nominee, country music singer, has now apologized, and she says, I'm going to rehab. So she's saying, yes, yes, yes. Not like Amy Winehouse. They want me to go to rehab, babe. I said, no, no, no. Well, she should have. She might be alive today. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But Ingrid Andress says that she was drunk. Roxanne, do you want to read? Go ahead and read her statement again with the country accent.
Okay, I will do that. I've got to pull it up. I was just Googling what alcohol does to your vocal cords because I wanted to see if that was a valid excuse.
I think it affects the brain, which affects the vocal cords.
Yes.
You've probably spoken to enough people who are intoxicated to know your voice always sounds the same.
Yeah, she didn't sound slurry as much as just making poor choices on how she was going to hit her notes.
Give me that microphone.
Yeah.
I'm going to sing a song. National anthem.
It wasn't. You're right. It wasn't like slurred speech, but she just couldn't hit the notes, and she was doing these little. It sounded like on the fly, impromptu, like variations.
Affectation.
Yeah, affectation. I mean, it was just a horrific rendition. And now she said that she was drunk.
Yeah, I've been to enough drunk girl karaoke nights to know that, you may not sound slurry, but you don't sound right.
Yeah, or you just have too much confidence. You think you sound better than you do.
She said she was drunk, and now she's going to check herself into rehab. So, Roxanne, would you like to, in her little country southern drawl, would you like to read her statement that she posted on social media?
I would love to. I'm not going to be...
Go ahead there, sugar pie. Go ahead there, sweetie.
I'm not going to BS y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need. That was not me last night. I apologize to MLB, all the fans, and this country I love so much for that rendition. I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun.
So that's the
There you go.
answer. Yep, she's going to rehab, baby.
I mean, she's trying to have a little bit of humor about it with the rehab's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michelle, my lovely wife, has diagnosed me with a disorder, and she thought it was very, very funny because she's reading out the symptoms or the manifestations of this disorder, and she's like laughing at every single one. It's like, that's you. Yep, that's you. Yep, that's you. So hang on, Michelle, get ready. I'm going to call you in a few minutes. First, though, it is 7:45, and I'm on time. Holy crap. It's 7:45, and I'm actually getting to my teased item at 7:45. This is a miracle. This is a Jesus miracle right here. All right, super synchronizers. You know what a super synchronizer is?
I have so many guesses. I'm probably way off.
People who essentially copycat or mirror the rhythm of the date. So whether it's the guy on the other side or a woman on the other side, it's the individual that then kind of mirrors and tries to be just like the other person to try to synchronize the personalities. And is that phony? It sounds like it's not like the real person. It sounds like a real phony baloney kind of. In this day and age with all these hookups and meetings, Tinder, Hinge, and we had that Hinged that they'll dine and dash story yesterday. Yeah.
So the one person's trying to match the energy or enthusiasm of the other person
or personality, but the so-called super synchronizers, they're viewed as more attractive. So when you try to synchronize and copycat the person that you're meeting or hanging with or dating or, that is perceived as more attractive, but it also, to me, it sounds like it's total phony baloney. So the so-called super synchronizers are more attractive to others, according to a brand new study that was published in Communication Psychology, a journal, meaning those who naturally mirror their partners are probably more likely to get asked on a second date.
Yeah, so this mirroring thing isn't new. Super synchronizers is a new term as it applies to a couple on a date.
What are you, a clinical psychologist all of a sudden?
Actually, she is.
I am. So this is what I have to say about people who do it authentically, who are just like, say I'm sitting here talking to Fester, and I am just naturally wanting to act like Fester. So I'm making macabre jokes, or I'm,
But you're,
falling asleep
you're
at the-
matching what you're getting.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
matching you, but I'm not thinking about matching you. That's cool. But if I set out to do it, it might be a ruse, and it might be someone who is trying to hoodwink someone on a
Right.
date. You see what I'm saying?
But if you're trying to mirror somebody and it's not necessarily your personality, it's
Yeah.
kind of like false advertising.
Totally. If you're
Right?
mirroring on purpose, I think it's a little bit sus. If you're mirroring because you just are in it and you don't even recognize it, then I think it means you guys really get along well.
Yeah. I mean,
But then there's also the physiological synchrony as well. The alignment of heart rates,
Yeah.
breathing patterns, hormone levels, and other biological processes between partners.
Yeah, see, that's cool. You can't control that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
That's been, I guess, studied extensively in the past, kind of like, in sync, being in sync. But as far as super synchronizing and trying to assess the pattern of the other person on the date and trying to mirror and mimic that, to me, that sounds all phony baloney.
I don't know. I don't know if you go in with a preconceived notion of what your demeanor is going to be. If you're talking to somebody who's really energetic, MJ, who's really, talking, robustly to you and engaging in a conversation, you might be more engaging than your normal turtle shell self.
All right. I would like to see, I don't know if this is going to be, successful or not, but I would love to ask listeners right now, if you're listening to the show, and have you ever pulled off a super synchronizing stunt where you changed your presentation, your delivery, your personality? Maybe you liked the individual that you had just went out on a date with, and did you consciously do it, or maybe was it subconscious? It seems like it's very intentional, though. So I guess the question, and if I don't get calls on this, I'm going to move along because we got a lot of stuff to do. But are there any folks listening right now, any people listening to the show right now, the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM, Tampa Bay's best morning radio entertainment, pound for pound, every single damn day. And you're listening to an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop content now, no interruptions. If anyone listening has done this super synchronizing where you consciously kind of changed who you are, or you altered your personality in order to get on the same wavelength with the person you were out on a date with. Have you done this? Have you been a super synchronizer? 800-990-1047. Or do you think that somebody did this to you? Were you able to detect that somebody kind of hoodwinked you? Either way, or if there's another angle that I'm not thinking of. 800-990-1047 gets you in. 800-990-1047. I got already called. Phones are ringing. I got a call already screened.
I mean, have you ever gone on a date with somebody who mumbles? I mean, before you know it, you're mumbling too. You're a super synchronizer.
Or you know what? Working somewhere, I think that people have super synchronized to behave more like the boss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that happen, especially in radio.
Yeah.
Where you have a big personality boss, where I've seen people in a radio station try to emulate some of the boss's mannerisms.
Dude, I tried to emulate Dave Reinhardt by not moving my hands side to side when I walk. I just kept them still to my side.
Look at the phones are ringing here.
Yeah, we have a lot of callers to get to, but
Yeah.
remind me to share a story about super synchronizing with your best friends.
Okay.
Because I experienced that a lot.
All right, James in Wesley Chapel. Hey, James, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, guys. This is nothing new. I did this when I was in the dating world, which is close to 40 years ago. When I heard about this, I said, let me try, because I'm all into that science stuff. So I did it. I went on dates. And you don't have to do it crazy, but if they're sitting across from you and they have their arms on the table folded, you follow the same thing. You kind of, you mirror them. You kind of, do the same mannerisms. They cross their leg, you cross their leg. And, I got second dates. I mean, it works.
Good for you.
What about as far as personality or Have you ever tried to phony up interests or?
No, I wouldn't say phony. I mean, of course, I want some. I like people with sense of humor and stuff, so they were, a wet blanket. I wouldn't even bother. But if they had a nice personality, I'd kind of match it too. The type of jokes they were telling or type of stories they were telling. I'd kind of mirror it with real stories. I wouldn't make up stories or anything. So I wasn't being phony myself.
All right.
But yeah, that thing works.
How far would you take it as far as mirroring their body language? If they pick their nose, you pick your nose. If if they scratch their butt, you scratch your butt.
All positive
If
stuff.
they do an anal probe, you do an anal probe.
And now it's a
There you
party.
go.
Yeah.
Hey, James, by the way, James and Wesley Chapel. I don't get up to Wesley Chapel that often because I'm a South Tampon. And but I was up there on Friday. Michelle and I were up in the area, and I stopped in because we talked about this place, and I've had some contact over the last couple of years. Do you remember the sushi bar up in Wesley Chapel, Zuku-san? Remember
I've been there.
Yeah. So I was there for the first time on Friday, and I was impressed. I thought they did a really nice job.
Sushi's very good.
Yeah, it's Zuku-san, Zukku-san sushi
in the
bar.
outlets.
Yeah, right near the outlets in there. And I went for the first time last Friday. I had a late lunch there and had some phenomenal nigiri, the actual just the real fish sushi on rice. I had some, fatty tuna. I had real toro. I had just really good stuff. But the reason why I'm bringing it up, the place was on our radar because remember a couple of years ago, Leonard Fournette, former Buccaneer, he left $1,000 tip, and that became kind of a big news story. And we had the owner, Ferdy, we had the owner on, and he told us a story how Leonard Fournette left $1,000 tip, and I said, I got to get to your restaurant. I finally got to the restaurant last Friday. I thought it was great.
And that's how I heard about it, that story, when I heard about
really?
the tip.
Wow.
I'm like, I got to check this place out. It's near me, and it was excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, James. Have a great one.
You're going to love this. I'm the guy that transfers videotapes, your DV cam.
Oh, yeah. So, I've got your email, and do me a favor, send me another email with your contact information just so it's on the top of my box, okay?
Not a problem.
All right, because I got a bunch of old videos that need to be transferred, digitized. Hey, the phone's exploded on this super synchronizing. I had no idea. It's crazy. Like yesterday, I was asking people what was on your Amazon Prime radar. What I thought the phones were going to blow up.
Nothing.
No, well, we had
a couple of calls.
like 2 or 3 calls. But look, I get every line is jammed with super synchronizers. And, asking people yesterday, hey, what are you itching for with Amazon Prime crap, yesterday and today?
50 calls on it. We got 3.
And I got every line is jammed here. Carissa in Spring Hill. Hey, Carissa.
Hey, how are you guys? I love your show.
Thank you. Go ahead on super synchronizers.
So I am sitting for my boards for my psychiatric nurse practitioner and completed my Doctor of Nursing practice here in a month. And I'm getting certified in narcissistic abuse and domestic violence recovery for counseling.
Yep.
And so that is a narcissistic trait, and not everybody that mirrors is a narcissist. But a lot of people that are narcissists will go on dates with the intentional purpose to manipulate their victims in order to gain trust and a connection, act like they have common interests, attitudes, emotions, things of that sort, so that they establish a rapport with their victim, and then they move forward with that. And it goes on for about 3 to 6 months until what they call the mask comes off, and then that's when, patterns of abuse start.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
But
poor James.
mirroring is a very common tactic among narcissistic people.
Well, look at this. I mean, we're getting clinical. I feel like I just got a master's degree or something.
Carissa,
Thank you.
as an expert in narcissism, do you listen to this show for entertainment or as a case study?
I've been listening to you guys since I was 18, maybe even younger. I've been going to different schools. This is my 5th degree. I'll be finishing here, and I'm done in about a month. I graduate.
Hey, congratulations. And I mean, clearly you've honed in on Fester's narcissism on the show, which I find untenable.
Yes.
I love Fester.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I'm a super synchronizer.
Yes. Hey, have a great one, Carissa, and best of luck. Pablo is in Newport Richie. Pablo, MJ Morning Show, you're up next. Hi.
Hey, morning, guys. It's so funny that last lady said something key, because in sales jobs, they teach you how to do that or how to be a super synchronizer. I used to sell door-to-door sales, home automation and security, and they taught us. They don't call it super synchronizers, but they tell you, imitate the homeowner. And when you're talking to them, it gains trust, and they let you. I mean, with the right words.
Yeah, it's a psychological ploy. It's a game.
Exactly. And I mean, my sales went through the roof when I started doing that. And I mean, it was so funny because a lady was just rocking her baby side to side, talking to me at the front door.
Want you to pretend suddenly to have a baby that you were rocking side to side? I got a mystery phantom baby.
Hold on, I got a baby in the car. Hold on.
I got a ghost baby. Let me go get my baby out of the trunk. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If it'll gain your trust. But the lady did it, and I rocked in the same rhythm that she was rocking the baby, and she let me in the house. And I nailed that sale. It was awesome.
Wow.
It's an amazing tactic to do, and it's like you build rapport, you build trust. It's a great sales tactic, especially if you're in that field.
It just builds trust and rapport, right?
Wow. Good stuff, Pablo. Thanks for the call. Eric is calling from Crystal Lake, Illinois. Eric, listening online. Hi, Eric. Go ahead.
Hey, MJ. How are you this morning?
Doing well. Go ahead.
Hey, just wanted to comment. I find myself mirroring the person I'm talking to almost in all cases when they've got a Southern accent.
Oh,
and
that's funny.
Wow.
It is not meant to mimic them.
Right.
It's just kind of somehow or another I absorb that accent, which I like, by the way, and all of a sudden I'm saying y'all this and y'all that.
Yep.
And not intentionally, it just happens.
Yeah, it's funny you brought up the accent because I know people who, I think I'm guilty of that myself at times, and I have a family member who does it all the time.
Oh my God, I am so guilty of that with Indian people.
It was like Hillary Clinton. Hang on, Fester.
Okay, that's all right. You can walk over the joke. It's okay.
All right, go ahead. You go first.
No, the joke was over.
Oh, great.
But I had to settle for a second. But then Hillary Clinton, what'd she do?
Remember when she would get that Southern drawl? Like when she was speaking to certain churches, and she would get into that, hey, she would like totally phony things up. She was totally playing that game.
She was the first lady of Arkansas.
Just to I guess fill my curiosity, Eric, you're listening to us in Crystal Lake, Illinois. How do you find us?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm a snowbird based in Sarasota.
Oh, gotcha.
And we come up to Crystal Lake for about 4 months every summer, and I go for a 3-mile walk every morning and listen to you.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, buddy. Have a great summer vacation, and have a safe trip back to Sarasota. All right, 2 more, and then we got to move on here because I got a lot of stuff. Hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ is in progress. Rachel in Lakeland. Rachel, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey.
Hey.
So I find that I do it more at work. I manage people, and I usually match their energy. I don't do it in my relationship. I've been with someone for 23 years, so we kind of know each other pretty well and don't have to mirror each other. But at work, definitely. But I didn't know that it was a thing, and I don't think I do it on purpose. I do it accidentally.
And do you find that it works? Does it make your managerial skills better, you think?
I find that the people like me. I find that my employees, they tend to like me. They get along with me better than I think they do other managers because I always find something to relate in my own life or my own experiences with my employees.
Yeah, this whole little topic really kind of hit a chord here. Thank you, Rachel. Good call. All right, final one on this before I move on. Danica, also in Lakeland, back-to-back Lakeland. Go, Danica.
Good morning. I have a friend who's a serial dater. And she does this with every man or even woman that she dates. And
oh my God, she's got like multiple personality syndrome on dates.
And the relationships only last between like 4 to 7 months, and then once the people find out that that's not really who she is, they completely end it. So I was listening to the lady before that was talking about like narcissism.
Yep.
And I think that fits her, so she needs a case study.
Yeah, really?
Your friend's the narcissist.
We oughta, you know what?
And it's weird because she has the best personality, like her normal personality, at least I think it's.
She ought to donate her brain to science right now. Just scoop it out and put it in a jar.
Yeah.
Wow, and is she a good friend of yours?
She good friend of mine.
Does she pull this garbage with you? Are these shenanigans something you've experienced?
Now that I'm thinking about it, she might be pulling it with me.
How long you been friends with her?
I've been friends with her about 5 years.
All right. Well, that's lasting.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, her personality normally is great, but like she was dating this one guy and she was like all prim and proper. Then she went to this like hood guy and she was hood, and I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, so she was like just whatever guy she was dating. She was
That's awesome.
she was morphing.
It was like a dating chameleon.
Yeah, she was morphing a chameleon again. It's super synchronizing and trying to match your date. And
Super.
Wow.
Super synchronizing.
Is she attractive?
She's beautiful.
How old is she?
She's 27.
Are you the same age?
I am not. I'm 38.
Gotcha. Wow.
So we met at work, but
I mean, when's the last time you saw her?
about 2 months ago.
All right.
So she's single right now, apparently working on herself. So good for her.
She's working on herself.
She needs the work.
Hey, thanks for the call. Good call, Danica.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, man. Great quality of the phone calls, just amazing.
I just have to say, when you super sync with your BFFs all the time, because I can think of my two closest friends, and we use all the same types of words, like anyways. One of my friends says anyways all the time.
Oh, stop anyways. Anyway, I hate anyways.
I know you do. So you would hate listening to both of us. And then my other friend, if you ever talk to her and you know me, but you're just meeting her, you're like, oh my gosh, that's Roxanne's voice. Like we have the same voice, but it's just from hanging around each other.
It's 8:03, almost 8:04 at the MJ Morning Show. I want to just take a second here and congratulate one of our sponsors. Longtime sponsor on the show is Two College Brothers Moving and Storage. And I just got a note from Wade. Wade is the CEO, the chief moving expert. And he sent me a note. Hey, MJ, we just reached a big milestone that maybe you might want to mention. We just got our 1,000th Google review and a 4.9 star rating.
Wow.
That is phenomenal.
You know how hard that is to have 1,000 different reviews and keep it that high?
Yeah, like, for instance, Westfall Roofing. Yeah. Westfall Roofing is a new client on the show. I did extensive research on them. Westfall Roofing, family company. I think one of the best roofers you can absolutely find. They've done work at my place, work at Froggy's place. They're about to do, I found a new leak. They're about to fix that. Westfall Roofing, a 4.8 on Google. I mean, for any roofing issues, go to westfallroofing.com. I mean, a 4.8, that speaks volumes. And then for Wade over at Two College Brothers, 1,000 Google reviews now and a 4.9 star rating. For a moving company, do you know how tough that is? You got people looking for any problem whatsoever, and you've got 1,000 Google reviews with a 4.9 rate. That is unheard of. You know, Wade even said in the email, this is unheard of in our industry. I think this makes twocollegebrothers.com the highest rated mover in the entire Tampa Bay area. That's incredible. So congratulations to Wade and the whole team at twocollegebrothers.com. Remember, for your move, you got to have the brothers. You got other college stuff out there, but you want twocollegebrothers.com with a 4.9 and 1,000 reviews. That is absolutely tremendous. Let me see if I can get Michelle on. You know what? Let me do the quiz first.
Oh, is it a history quiz you said?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
of American history?
Yeah, go ahead.
I predict Fester's going to ace it because can't you can recite all the names of the presidents?
I know a reasonable amount of our country's history.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a civics quiz on the MJ Morning Show. Yeah, I stumbled across this yesterday. I thought that this was disconcerting. This didn't give me a warm and fuzzy feeling. This is easy. U.S. college students cannot name this. I mean, a very large percentage. So a new survey of college students, don't know a lot about this country and, founding fathers and all kinds of interesting things. Only 31% could identify this. That means almost 70%, 69%, overwhelming majority could not name this.
All right.
Now, do you guys have, all right, Roxanne, don't touch your computer, please. All right.
Okay.
Fester.
You don't have to have your hands up like we're pointing a gun at you either.
You got-
or you're raising the roof. Roxanne's like, no, I have no
All right.
hands on the computer.
Andrew, come in here quickly, please. Just Andrew, roll in here.
What is?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Come in. All right, I'm going to hand Post-it notes to all three of you guys.
Okay.
So Fester, here's a Post-it note. All right. Roxanne, here's a Post-it note.
Oh.
You got it?
I
You got that, Fester.
All right.
Thank you.
And then Andrew, do you have a pen? Andrew, here's a Post-it note.
Here's a pen, Andrew.
You have a pen? Does everyone has a pen and a Post-it right now,
Roxanne
right?
has a pen. I
Here,
don't.
go for your
Okay,
pen.
here we go.
I'll borrow your pen.
I need you.
done.
You have 5 seconds to write this down. You ready?
Hold on,
Let me-
Roxanne needs a pen.
I'm penless.
All right.
You're
Yes,
what?
I got it.
Do you have it?
You're penis?
All right.
Penless.
Penless.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm sorry. I misheard that.
Here we go. Here we go. I want you to write down right now the father of the U.S. Constitution. Write down the name, the father of the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution of the United States of America. The father of the U.S. Constitution. Write it down in 3, 2, 1, and time is up. All right, hand me your Post-it notes. Andrew, thank you very much. Fester, Roxanne, give me yours. Hurry up. Give me yours. All right, Roxanne, Andrew, and Fester, give me yours. Okay,
Oh, boy.
here we go.
Put me in that bad category.
Andrew, our producer, goes with Thomas Jefferson. That is incorrect.
It's incorrect.
Okay.
Thomas Jefferson is wrong.
He is the author
Right.
of the Declaration of Independence.
Well, get to Roxanne's answer.
Roxanne, well, you've got 2. You wrote one on each side.
Are either of them right?
One side says Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
No. No.
I wrote a factual fact on the other side.
And then Thomas Jefferson on the other side.
No. Read what I wrote.
What does it say?
Thomas Jefferson did the Declaration of Independence.
Okay, so
I'm right on that.
Well, let's answer questions that weren't
Aren't I?
asked.
But yeah, answer. Who's the father of the U.S. Constitution? All right. So you're wrong on both counts. Now let's see if Fester has this. Fester wrote James Madison. Correct. 100% correct. Fester had it. James Madison, the father of the U.S. Constitution.
The only thing I ever think about with James Madison is his lovely wife, Dolly. That's
Hey.
the only thing I tie him to. I never think of the Constitution.
Yeah, it was written after Dolly Madison. I mean, he was a big fan.
And didn't she first serve ice cream at the White House or something? Isn't that?
No, ice cream came out much later.
No, I think Dolly Madison. Look up. Look up. I think because there used to be like a Dolly Madison ice
I
cream
remember
brand.
that.
Yeah,
maybe
and
she
I think
did.
no, I think Dolly Madison, Madison and ice cream. Just type that in.
Well, no, because then the company's going to come up.
Dolly
Ice
Madison
cream.
ice cream. I think that she was like one of the first to bring, because wasn't ice cream like a French import or something? Or is it
Unraveling Dolly Madison myths.
Maybe it is a myth.
Okay, myth number 1. She was not into threesomes. Okay, wow, who knew? Who knew? No, this is a little wordy here.
Myth number 2, she was not in trouble with the White House mailroom for ordering sex toys from Amazon. No, that's a myth.
It came by
That's
Pony
a
Express.
big myth. Anyway,
I gotta
I'm not
find
going to dwell on this. But anyway, Fester had it.
Good job,
But
Fester.
69% of college students had no idea that James Madison is known as the father of the U.S. Constitution, building the framework.
Dolly Madison did not invent ice cream. She did not serve it at the White House, and ice cream was not her favorite. Oyster ice cream was not her favorite. These are all myths.
Oh, so the ice cream thing is all myth?
Yes.
So they even named an ice cream company after a myth?
I guess.
That's crazy.
Well, look at this room. Okay, the 3 of us, so a third of us got it right. We're like the college students. Andrew and I missed it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. All right, let me get Michelle on the line. I did not sleep with Michelle last night.
You slept in a different room?
I fell asleep on the couch.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, downstairs. Slept with another female last night. It's Scout. Scout was sitting just above my head. Yeah.
Hello.
Good morning, sweetie.
Good morning.
Oh, so you find my disorder that you've diagnosed me with very funny because you couldn't stop laughing in between each of the Are you going to laugh now?
Would you rather me refer to it as your disorder or just that you eat like a beast?
I'm the original Mr.
What
Beast.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Lay it out. Michelle has well, she's always complained about the way I eat, but she is officially, as of yesterday. How do you stumble upon this?
Well, I had to start looking up things like putting too much food in your mouth.
So Michelle's yelling at me. I got what I have. I made some rice. I made me and my Zojirushi rice maker. I made some good Niigata Japanese rice yesterday, part of my lunch. And Michelle's yelling at me for, and I have chopsticks, which I bought in the restaurant district in Tokyo. And I'm eating my rice, and Michelle's like chastising me for taking too much rice at a time with my chopsticks and putting it in my mouth. So what, that precipitated you doing a whole Google research project?
You're a mouth stuffer.
So I'm a mouth stuffer.
Is that the condition?
No, you overstuff your mouth. He has oral hyposensitivity, sensitive, or gustatory disorder.
Say it again?
You bite your fingernails.
Oh, gee. So this is the list of things. Again, tell everyone again, what is the processing disorder that you think I have?
Oral hyposensitivity, gustatory sensory processing disorder.
Oral hypersensitivity.
Hypo.
Sensitivity.
Gustatory sensory processing disorder.
All right. And list the things that are, I guess, known issues with this disorder, which you've diagnosed me with officially yesterday.
You bite your fingernails.
I do. That's true.
You prefer crunchy foods.
I what?
You prefer crunchy foods.
I love crunchy foods.
You put too much food in your mouth at one time.
I buy 10 pounds of those hard, large Amish pretzels. You know, I buy a 10-pound box from the Amish up in Akron, Ohio.
And they last...
I'm sorry, Akron, Pennsylvania. Correction. Akron, Pennsylvania. I buy the big giant bag of those crunchy broken bits of those big sourdough pretzels. No salt, by the way.
They last about 3 days in your
No. It's like 3 months, 4 months, 10 pounds. All right, so I like crunchy items. Next.
You overstuff your mouth.
Well,
food falls out of your mouth and you don't even know it.
Stop it.
I'm serious. You know what made me really think of it was the other day when we went to the movies and you were eating the popcorn. You do this with everything that comes like a popcorn or nuts. You will take your whole hand and you'll just dig around and dig around and dig around and take a humongous overstuffed handful of the food and then try to put all of that in your mouth at one time. And I'm like, why not just take the 2 or 3 kernels?
So I'm a mouth stuffer.
Yep. I mean, that's for short. That's your mouth stuffer. But the technical thing is also you prefer very hot food or very cold food? Because your biggest complaint when we go out to eat is, first of all, if it's not hot enough when it comes to the table, but also you're always instructing me to eat my food before it gets cold. And I'm like, well, I don't want to burn my mouth.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you either like it really hot or you like your shave ice in your ice cream.
I love ice
cream.
cream.
I don't like any food in between.
So you think me being a freaky guy and having a real Fuji Marca 709 SE version 2 shave ice machine from Hawaii, you think that is out of the ordinary, that I have an actual shave ice machine that you'll find at the best shave ice machines on the islands?
Oral.
And that I freeze my own ice blocks, make my own shave ice. I order my syrups from Hawaii. You think that makes me what is the oral? What do I have?
No.
You have oral, hyposensitivity, gustatory, sensory processing disorder, and I don't even know if I'm saying all of that correctly.
Right. The fact that you have that equipment has nothing to do with this disorder. The fact that you like ices is that you like stuff super cold. The fact that you have this machine, you're a dork.
All right, now hold on a minute. Hold on.
That's really short.
I found the list, and there are things on the list that I don't do.
It doesn't matter. You do enough of them.
Look, here's another. Licks objects around them.
I've seen you do that around here.
I do not lick.
Occasionally, yes, you'll go over and lick the wall over there.
No, I won't. That is a lie. I do not lick the walls. I don't lick a stapler. In fact, I'm a germaphobe.
Yeah, you don't need to have every symptom of a disease to have it, MJ.
Right.
I mean, if there's 20 symptoms, you don't need every one. If you have 12 of them, ding, ding, big boy. You got it.
All right, hang on. There's more.
I think I saw you lick one of the mouse.
All right, I don't lick objects around me. Chew on non-food items. All right, sometimes I'll chew on a pen or an eraser.
Mm-hmm.
All right, chew the inside of their cheeks. I do not chew. I am not a cheek biter. I don't do that. Bite other people. I do not bite other people. Have I ever bitten you?
No.
Has he ever bitten your cheeks?
I mean, hold on, Michelle.
I know.
Not in the aggression way.
Exactly.
Like half this list applies to me, but half the list does not apply to me.
I used to like to bite my arm when I was little.
You prefer spicy and intense, flavorful food.
Yeah. Duh.
Okay. Well, it's not duh. It's a whole list of things that you present enough of the symptoms. This is you. We all, when we go out to eat, the kids and I are now like, do not put too much food in your mouth. You'll cut a piece of steak that is so big and put it in your mouth. And I'm like, I don't even know how it's going to fit in there, let alone be able to move around while you chew it.
Well, because it's a fantasy of mine to have the Heimlich performed.
Well, I was just going to say.
No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, I
joking.
hope you eat at crowded restaurants to increase your chances of someone in the restaurant being able to save you.
No way.
I'm joking around. Fester gave me a look when I just said that.
A fantasy of the Heimlich.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Roxanne, I hope he likes eating at crowded restaurants so there's a better chance of somebody videoing it on their phone so I
Right?
can see it.
You eat chipino like you're bathing in the basin.
Cioppino, which is like an Italian fish stew with clams and stuff.
It's all over you before the end of the meal.
Well, here's another thing. So, what is oral sensory? Hyposensitive, in other words, unresponsive. They may not feel food in their mouths or may let it drop out of their mouths without realizing it.
That's you.
No, it's not.
That is you. Oh my gosh! All the time, I'm like, you have food on your face.
All right, so
It is literally all over your face, and it's falling out of your mouth because you've tried to put too much in there.
All right.
You will have a mouthful of food, and you will still be forking food and then trying to shove more in as you're still chewing the last overstuffed bite that you put in your mouth.
To simplify, I'm a mouth stuffer. Is that it?
You fork so much forking food into your mouth. It's quite a sight.
I'm a forking slob.
Dude.
Yes.
One time, MJ hit the side of his face with the fork and he forked himself.
All right.
I had to slow down on that one.
Go fork yourself.
Yeah,
all right.
all of you.
All right, Michelle, are you done with this tear down?
No, I have to somehow correct it for you because as you age, it might become a problem and you could choke.
Michelle, I have to tell you, I found a word the other day. I keep emailing your hubby with this thing I want to do to describe this. He is the word. I found this word. I learned a new definition, and it is him. So I can't wait for you to hear when we finally talk about it.
Well, just say what it is.
No, I have to do the build-up. I have to do the build-up.
What
so when you want
build-up?
to talk about it, okay, there's a build-up.
What's the word?
My daughter is in Cats, as I've told you guys.
Cats, the at the kennel.
She's in the musical.
The musical Cats.
Oh,
The Broadway show Cats.
I thought she was like volunteering at the animal shelter.
Yeah,
My daughter's in
at
Cats.
7 years old. Yeah.
They're performing on July 27th, Saturday, July 27th at Dunedin High School. You can buy tickets if you go to
Oh my God! You're turning this.
commercial
This is
for
now
Dunedin High School.
you're throwing a pitch at us.
A bunch of 7-year-olds doing Cats.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
No, it's and teenagers. It's really good. So I'm practicing with her. We're singing Jellicle Cats, and if you've seen the play, you know
This
the
is
song.
this is a hijack situation.
Yeah, it really is.
Let me.
But Michelle's gonna love it. I swear.
let me
I swear. Okay, so
Let me. Hold on. I got a Squawk 7800.
The word is.
Hold on. That might be the wrong Squawk code. Hang on. Let me look it up.
So we're singing Jellicle Cats. You know, Jellicle Cats come out tonight. Come on,
Cats, come on, come all.
Yes, there you go. Thank you, Andrew.
Okay, Andrew.
And
I'm
there's
sorry. The hijack Squawk code is 7500.
Okay.
All right. I've been a Squawk 7500.
What's the word?
So then we get to the line: skeptical cats, dyspeptical cats, romantical cats, pedantical cats. So I'm explaining the definition of these words to my daughter so she'll be able to better picture it in her mind and memorize it.
Okay.
So we get to pedantical, and I was like, I think that means like fussy with words. That's what I thought it meant.
Right.
Fussy with words.
So I'm
And then
pedant. What is it?
they say pedantical, which the word is pedantic. So I Googled pedantic to make sure I had the right definition.
Oh, let me guess.
Michelle.
My picture came up.
Yes, your picture came up. You are MJ pedantic. I
I'm
mean, if you just want
pedantic.
to, you don't even have to look up the definition of pedantic. So I found it. It's a word used to describe someone who, I'm sorry, annoys others by correcting small errors, caring very much about minor details, emphasizing their own expertise, especially in some narrow subject matter, i.e. planes, blueberry texture.
Roxanne, you're right. MJ.
He's pedantic.
MJ is the pedantic prick.
I'm the pedantic.
Oh my gosh, that is so you.
He is. He's the PP.
I'm the pedantic prick.
The biggest.
Oh my gosh.
You're the biggest pedantic prick of them all.
I'm just like, I learned, I fine-tuned the definition, and I found who embodies it.
You didn't even
He's a
fine-tune
pedantic
it.
prototype.
It's just him.
I love it.
All right, are you guys done now?
No, you're gonna be hearing about it all. You're a pedantical prick who suffers from hyposensitivity, gustical, oral disorder.
Oh my God, we're writing a hell of a eulogy for this guy.
My
friend MJ was a pedantic prick who had this oral disorder. All right, wow.
Who would know? Who would think that there would even be a definition for someone who suffers from that?
Roxanne, is there box seats available at the High School Performance of Cats?
Oh, there are all kinds of great
my
seats
God.
available.
I don't sit in the orchestra if I go to a show.
Turn it into a box office.
I
here.
need a box seat.
Guys,
Ovations.com.
is the Bash MJ hijacking over?
You mean the...
It's not bashing you.
No.
We're pointing out things that we could, use a little help correcting maybe.
So self-improvement.
Yeah, it's kind of like astrology, just getting to know.
Both of you guys, you're wrong. We're not even trying to correct it. We're just acknowledging it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Fast.
Yes,
Yeah,
there you go.
nobody's correcting you, MJ. We're just putting it out into the universe and acknowledging it and moving on.
Speaking of moving, that's the best thing you said. I'm moving on. Michelle, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye, sweetie. I'm a mouth stuffer. That's great.
You sure
All right.
are.
Speaking of food, remember this?
Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us. All we ask is that you let us serve it your way.
Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that? Have it your way. And remember?
Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us. All we ask is that you let us serve it your way.
All right, so that's the old Burger King spot from like 1976.
Right. Somewhere in the mid.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was a big. When I was a kid, that was big. And of course, the new Burger King commercials. Andrew, get the new one up there and get the longer version of "Hold the Pickle, Hold the Lettuce." Because even the new Burger King with that guy singing kind of off key, that's the same melody as "Hold the Pickle, Hold the Lettuce." Yeah, so here's the new version.
Have it your way.
All right, so that's the new version from 2024, and then we have the original, which is.
Have it your way. Have it your way. Have it your way at Burger King. Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us.
Well, the point is, apparently, special orders do upset some Burger King employees.
Uh-oh.
To the tune of $800 in damage to a customer's car.
How special was this order?
Well, here's the... Man, I tell you what, the Villages News. I love the Villages News up at the Villages, America's friendliest hometown. Well, Miguel Garcia, 25 years old of Lakeland, is facing charges because he got into an altercation. From the Villages News, "Have it your way" was the slogan at Burger King for many years, but it wasn't working for an employee who became enraged over a special order at the fast food restaurant in the Villages. Miguel Garcia, 25 of Lakeland, is facing charges of battery, criminal mischief, and disorderly intoxication. Wait, so we got a drunk guy working the drive-thru at Burger King? All right, this happened on Sunday night. He was arrested at the Burger King on Bichara Boulevard in La Plaza Grande. Or La Plaza Grande, I don't know how. Anyway.
What's the name of the street?
Bichara. B-I-C-H. Let's take the bitch. I'm gonna drive on the bitch today on Bichara Boulevard in the Villages. Garcia apparently became enraged when a man ordered food in the drive-thru lane and inquired about a particular drink order, according to the arrest report from the Lady Lake Police Department. The Burger King employee shuttled back and forth to the customer's car several times in an attempt to properly fill the order. The special order sent Garcia over the edge, punched the man in the face through his window.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And then he started beating on the guy's hood, denting in the whole hood and causing an estimated $800 in damage.
Wow.
So first he smashes the guy, punches him in the face, and then is pounding on the hood of his car. And that caused a ton of damage to his car. $800 in damage to the car. Hang on a minute. I think I might have a... Yeah, there we go. That's him continuously pounding on the hood. When police arrived, Garcia began yelling, "Take me to jail! Take me to jail!"
He knew where he was going.
Then he tossed his shoes and threw up his hands in an aggressive manner. Oh, this sounds like a taser. When an officer took Garcia into custody and placed him in the back of the patrol car, the odor of an alcoholic beverage was detected. In addition, he had slurred speech and bloodshot eyes. He was booked into the Lake County Jail, then released after posting a $2,500 bond. So in this particular case, my friends, yeah, I guess no. No, apparently not. Yeah, from 1970s to 2024, the variations of the Have It Your Way Burger King jingle.
You know, it sounds like the guy tried really hard. He made a couple of trips out to satisfy the order, and then he just snapped. He couldn't take it anymore. I'm of the belief that while fast food workers try to give you a decent amount of service, they could go at any second.
Oh, so you think there's an acceptable breaking point where a customer deserves to be punched in the face and have their hood dented to the tune of $800?
No, but I have a feeling that many fast food employees have that point to where they'd rather go to jail.
Yeah, there's some crazy crap happening in Florida, and the Village is becoming a hot spot, man. Tell you what. All right. This is the new theme song for the TSA, apparently.
Oh, my God. You just brought Roxanne back to Storman's Palace. She's sitting here dancing next to me.
Yeah.
Storman's Palace. Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever went. Maybe a couple times.
Sure you
Maybe
did.
a couple
I'm
hundred.
sure I did. I
Sure
just
you
don't
did.
remember.
All right.
I was drunk.
Latest now is, according to a TSA agent, big butts trigger false alarms at airport security.
Dude, as they should. Who knows what they're packing in that?
Yeah.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Yeah, all right. So this woman posted a little message on social media. And this woman wrote, "My husband is a TSA agent, and he just told me that people blessed with large posteriors set off the x-ray machine more often than not." This is a hair care influencer by the name of Elise Carolyn, and she put up a social media clip. If you've got a fat ass, the next time you go to the airport, please tell me if you set off the x-ray machine. Well, I think she's talking about the body scanner.
Yeah, the body scanner.
Yeah.
So I'm TSA pre-check, which, listen, I don't want to get the pre-check lines any busier, and a lot of times I can stroll right through. It's a very, ridiculously short wait. Like, I'm going to be traveling out of Tampa International on Friday. So Friday afternoon, I'm heading down to Grand Cayman, quick stopover, and then I'm on the Twin Otter over to Little Cayman. Kind of a boys' trip. I'm going with a couple of guy friends that are all avid scuba divers. And I'm trying to think, when I fly, usually Delta or, Southwest or, whatever I'm flying, United out of Tampa International, I've got TSA pre-check at all of the I'm trying to remember whether I get to do pre-check with Cayman Airways on Friday. I think I might.
They'll tell you when you get there.
But the point is that, like, let's say Delta, which I fly Delta the most, or I fly JetBlue also. So, I fly Delta, JetBlue, Southwest. And I'll look at the regular security line, and it is wrapped. Or they're now lined up down the hall, like all the way down sometimes to the end of where the trams come in from the main terminal to the airsides. And I'll walk around the whole line, and then the TSA pre-check, there's like no one there. And it's like, thank God you guys, this whole line of people, they don't care about TSA pre-check for what, $75, $85 for 5 years. It's the best bargain ever. But the point I'm trying to make is that when you're pre-check, you just walk through the regular metal detector. When you're doing regular security, when you don't have a pre-check, you got to put your arms in the air like you don't care. You got to stand on the little footprints, and they got to put you through the full body scanner. So I'm pretty sure that that's what she's talking about, that her husband, who's a TSA agent, is saying that if you've got a big butt, that the body scanner seems to indicate more that there's something there, because they have that little screen. When you're standing like in the cylindrical tube, or sometimes they have the wall units. It depends which airport you're in. But when you're in the scanner, they have a little monitor, and it's kind of rudimentary. It looks like a little kid's toy, and it has like a little colored patch. It has like the outline of the body, and then there's like a little colored patch that'll pop up and shows like an area of concern. And I guess people with big butts, I guess they're getting little colored patches on their asses.
I mean, the radiation can't make it through the caboose.
Well, there it is.
I think I get hit with that sometimes because the reason I know I do is because...
But you don't have a big butt.
Well, I know I've Googled in the past, is there something wrong with me if is getting stopped in the body scanners a sign of disease? Because you know me, I'm a hypochondriac.
Yeah, you're a worrywart about everything.
Mm-hmm.
You get a pimple, you think it's a tumor or something.
Yep.
All right, so anyway, a representative from the Transportation Security Administration says TSA cannot verify the authenticity of claims made by this individual on social media without more context about the time and place where security screening occurred. No, this woman is claiming that her husband's a TSA agent and just notices anecdotally that more people with big butts are getting stopped. Now, Fester, you have the audio here for this woman?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Elise Carolyn?
Yeah, that's the influence. Elise Carolyn. All right, so bring it up.
The TSA agent, and he just told me that people with blessed posteriors set off the x-ray machine more often than not. I feel like this is something we need to test out, everybody. If you've got a fat ass, next time you go to the airport, please tell me, did you set off the x-ray machine?
That's the body scanner. So there we go. That's her. That's the woman. And the TSA is saying that they need more information. No, that's not. You don't need to know the location, unless certain machines are tuned differently. For instance, I'll tell you, like with the metal detectors, I have a metal credit card, and some airports it gets set off. Or I have the watch I'm wearing right now. This is the watch that I have, an IWC Ceratanium watch, which really is a ceramic case. But for whatever reason, I can go through 90% of metal detectors at the airport. My watch does not set off the metal detector. But there are a couple of airports that I've noticed where they have the magnetometers tuned really sensitively, and my watch will set off the metal detector, and 95% of the airports, it doesn't set it off. So I think it also maybe depends on settings. But the TSA, we need more information. We need this. Come on. I don't think you need all that crap. The spokesperson continued, I can verify that TSA's on-person screening technology effectively screens diverse populations of travelers every day. During development, TSA on-person screening algorithms were trained to recognize body composition.
Yes.
And then the spokesperson for the TSA went on to say, you may be required to undergo a pat-down procedure if the screening technology alarms. A pat-down may include inspection of sensitive areas such as breasts, groin, and the buttocks.
I hope for a pat down.
Yeah, there you go.
I just
Anyway.
like meeting new people.
Yeah, so if you've got a larger butt, start paying attention at the airport. If you've got a larger butt, are you getting, flagged in the body scanner?
Yeah, I never mind a pat down, Fester, myself.
What is wrong with you guys? I don't. You guys want pat downs? What's the matter with you?
I just feel like it's a little, human contact, a little, massage.
Come on. Get out of here.
It's nice.
Yeah, I gotta say, I had a pat down, I don't know, about 4 months ago when I was on a flight, and the guy rubbed the purse. Hey.
The guy handled the jewels?
I mean, it's just, real quick, top of his finger. Boop,
Right.
But
I just tell him, I say, hey, get in there. Do your job.
Get in there?
Whatever you need to do.
That's what you
Here
said.
you go.
What is wrong?
You
Roxanne,
said
what are
get
you
in there.
saying? You want a stranger in a TSA uniform to feel you up?
I just don't look at it
You
as
want
they're
a
being
groin?
creepy.
You want a
I
groin?
just think they're
It
doing
is-
their job.
Yeah, they are doing their job,
I
but you
think
want a
they're- yeah.
groin probe?
I mean, I'm not.
No,
I'm
not
What do you
necessarily
have
there.
What do you have, a TSA gropomatic fetish?
I mean,
What do you fantasize about getting
No.
felt up by the TSA?
I just don't. I don't think that they should be looked at as bad for doing their job. They're just
No.
doing their job. I'm like, don't feel comfortable. Okay,
I
go
never
ahead.
said anything about bad.
I like it.
What am I working with here?
I'm not saying.
I
no to
like
that.
it.
I mean, I'm gonna be on a plane for the next 3 hours. Let's see if we can't hit something off here.
All right, next. I heard from our pals at Lucan's, and it's pretty cool. If you are a fan of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, look this guy up, because I totally recognize him. I know the name. Lucan's is having a special event with Glenn Howerton, GLE Howerton. Yeah, just bring him up. And this guy is best known for developing It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Is he one of the writers? Or?
He's developed the program. Anyway, that show is hysterical. Michelle and I watched a bunch of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's one of the shows that we need to go back and watch from the beginning. Also, Arrested Development.
Oh, get on it.
I know. It's on the list. There's so much crap.
I could see you falling in love with that.
Well, I've seen Arrested. I've seen many episodes,
Okay.
but I want to start from the beginning. I want to watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia from the beginning, and I want to watch Arrested Development from the beginning. Hey, we just watched Beef. Beef has been out for like a year, and we just watched Beef on Netflix. So we binged it last weekend. I thought it was fantastic.
That's not a comedy, though.
You know what?
Is it?
Well, you know what?
It's in the comedy category.
It's dark. It's dark comedy.
Okay.
It's black comedy. All right, so here's the deal. So if you're a fan of Glenn Howerton, if you're a fan of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Lukens has given me some VIP passes. So I'll give away one today and one tomorrow for this weekend. It's going to be Saturday, the 20th. And it turns out that Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that he's involved with Four Walls Whiskey. And they're doing a signing experience, and we're going to give away a VIP ticket. Skip the regular line. You'll get a case of 6 bottles with your VIP ticket.
Whoa.
Yeah, and this is going to be, you get a case of 6 bottles of his Four Walls product. And it's a VIP line, and this is worth a couple of $100. So you get the case, the case of 6 bottles of Four Walls whiskey. You'll get VIP access. So it'll be you and a guest, so 2 people. You'll get priority access to the front of the line, opportunity to meet Glenn Howerton. And I'm going to give away 2 of these, 2 VIP, and this is going to be at Midtown. This is going to be. The event is this Saturday at Lucan's Midtown. So this is the location on Dale Mabry, just south of 275 in the whole new Midtown complex. So Lucan's this Saturday, the VIP line closes at 1:30 p.m.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Saturday afternoon, go to their website to get the actual. Go to Lucan's website.
Okay.
Yeah, and I see what time you can start lining up when the event's actually from. I meant to write that down, but it's this Saturday, and in a few minutes, I'm going to give away a VIP package. You get a case. You get 6 bottles of Four Walls whiskey. and get to meet Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny. And I mean, just what a deal. Thanks to Lukens again for thinking of us and thinking of you, the audience, and you could win this. I'm going to give away the first VIP pack in a few minutes.
So it's from 1 to 2:30.
Okay, so the VIP line closes at 1:30, so it's 1 to 2:30, Midtown Lukens this Saturday. Meet Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. All right, I'll give away the VIP package in just a few. Stand by. All right, I got to lightning around a lot of stuff because we're still in the middle of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Heads up, I'll give away the prize here in just a bit. We're at a point now where people are asking the question, if you send a text without an emoji, is the text naked? I mean, come on.
I saw this.
I don't use emoji. Every once in a while, and I try to refrain. You know, you get the text suggestions. When you're in the middle of a text conversation, you get the suggestions, yes, no, okay. You'll get some of the, like, thumbs up. And I try to avoid emojis. For whatever, I don't like emojis. I really don't. I really don't. But every once in a while, I've hit the thumbs up, like, yeah. But I try to avoid them.
Thumbs up is probably my favorite emoji I send
It's rare that I use any kind of an emoji. But now, listen to this. 4 in 10 Americans feel that a text feels naked without an emoji, according to new research.
What if you put a naked bum emoji? Oh, there aren't any naked emojis, are there?
Well, like a big schlong hanging out?
Yeah.
A schlong-moji?
I can think of a couple of vegetables you could use for
there's
almost
some
every
vegetables.
body part.
No, what's the...
eggplant.
Zucchini.
Yeah,
Or an eggplant's a good one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eggplant, zucchini, the peach.
Carrot. Banana. Oh, banana's probably the one most associated with guys Wang, right?
I don't know. I guess you're not really texting.
What?
sexy
Okay.
emojis.
All right. Survey of 2,000 Americans aged 21 plus revealed 41% of respondents believe that a message needs to include an emoji to be complete. Get out of here. You know what? I want to go to the emoji lines.
Just send us an emoji. Don't even call in.
No. Well, send Fester emojis at his personal cell number.
Yeah.
813-310-8444. Now, seriously, I'll grab a couple of calls here. Do you think that a text message feels naked if they don't send an emoji to you or if you don't send an emoji to them? Yes or no? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How about just communicate in English? And how about punctuating your, I hate getting like run-on texts and like all punctuation is tossed out the window. It's almost like the cell company is charging you extra to include commas and periods.
Well, they're doing voice text. If that's what you're receiving, it's because someone's just doing voice text and they're not saying period at the end of each.
You could say it recognizes comma, period, question mark, exclamation point.
Okay, well, I'll tell you something. Sometimes I'll be in the car.
Ampersand.
Yep. Well, I'm in the car with my kids.
Carrot.
I have to send a text message. I voice text it. I don't include punctuation because I don't want them to hear me going, "Can you call me when you get a chance?" ? Can you, I just don't want,
Why?
I want them to hear normal conversation.
You know what? Let me ask the question right now. Fire up the phones. Do you feel that a text message is naked if a person does not include an emoji in the text message? Yes or no? This is a quickie. This is a quick little drive-by. 800-990-1047. See if we get a couple of calls on this. 800-990-1047. Are you one of the individuals that thinks that a text message is naked because they don't have some goofy smiling face or, the smile with the smile with the tears, like I'm laughing so hard I'm crying, or whatever. Or what about like a poop emoji or something? Or I mean, there's just a jillion emojis that you can include these days. So yes or no? Couple of calls. Let's go. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Do you subscribe to this?
I have a friend who every message he sends, it's like in his signature is a eggplant emoji.
What, he's sending you his wiener?
It's actually
every single
why
text
would
message.
he? And are you surmising that the eggplant is representative of his male junk?
It's just the symbol for it. And she asked Doug to stop like 20 times.
Is it a purple?
Yeah.
So what does he have?
Every single.
What does he have? Wiener gang? Does he have wiener gangrene, or does he have a blood circulation problem?
Okay. It's just an emoji.
Who's this friend that's sending you an eggplant in every single text message?
It's a mutual friend of mine and
Who
Doug,
is
so
it?
it's fine.
Who is it? What's his name?
I'm not going to say his
What's
name.
his name? Let's
I'm
out
not
him.
gonna out him.
Let's out him.
He's just eggplant emoji guy. That's all he is to us.
Have you ever asked, what does the eggplant signify? Is it his
we
wang?
know. I think we can
So
figure it
he's
out.
sending you his wang in every text message?
He's obviously built it into his automatic reply. I mean, like it's.
Is he one of these guys that brags about his junk all the time?
What are you doing?
Yes or no? I'm trying, because what do we do? I'm trying to figure out, why is this guy sending him eggplant? Why is this guy sending his eggplant wiener in every text message?
Humor. It's humor.
I don't know.
He's a funny guy.
Roxanne. It's a lot of vegetables.
Eight,
a whole produce stand Roxanne over here.
800-990-1047. That's how you get in. Just this is quick. You'll be on and off the phone in 2 seconds. Do you find text messages naked without an emoji? I prefer people don't send me emojis. Just communicate in the English language. 800-990-1047. Sharon in Wesley Chapel. Hi, Sharon. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, Sharon. Go ahead.
Hello. Emojis. Okay, so I am not a young person.
You sound it.
I feel. Well, thank you. I fluffed my hair as you said that. Okay, thank you. I feel that emojis are for, dare I say, millennials. To me, that's a young person thing.
So Gen Z and millennials?
Yes, I guess so.
So you think there's probably a lower emoji usage for Generation X or beyond, boomers, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because, of course, most of the people I communicate with are closer to my age, but then I go on YouTube or I get text messages, et cetera, from younger people, and it's like, happy face, pukey face, and I'm like, whoa.
Is there a projectile vomit emoji?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Well,
Is there?
yes,
It's like the
a
green,
vomit.
the green
Yeah.
vomit.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I've seen that, but I mean,
You want a projectile.
I want a stream coming out like a side profile. Thank you, Sharon. Have a great day. Rolf in Tarpon Springs. Rolf, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, what's the story?
Love your show.
Thank you, man.
I don't feel naked at all when I see them in those emojis, but I use them once in a while when they pop up and it's useful. But besides that, I just like to get straight to the point and get off the text.
Rolf, how old are you?
48.
48. So you kind of avoid them, but every once in a while they'll creep in. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Let me grab Evan in Orlando. Evan, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Evan.
Hey, good morning. Long-time listener. Y'all are awesome. I just have a couple comments. No, I don't think a text is naked without an emoji. I do use them once in a while just because I think it adds a little flavor to the text, but not all the time. But I do think, MJ, you should create an emoji just for you showing a hand dropping your taxes into the U.S. Post Office.
Oh, by the way, my tracer is still a failure. I just literally on the 11th got another email update from the U.S. Postal Service that my package has still not been found. 2 packages, two priority mail packages to the IRS mailed at 5 a.m. on April 15th from the Tampa, Maine Airport Post Office. The U.S. Postal Service lost 2 priority mail packages with tax payments to the IRS.
You gotta pay your taxes.
Yeah.
As a show of an apology, just pay your taxes for you.
Yeah, I should do a GoFundMe and have people just cover my tax due for 2023 and then also my first quarter estimated.
Yeah, that's the charity I want to donate to.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Have a good morning.
You too. All right. There we go. The phones have just lit up. All right. One more call, and I got to move on because I'm running late. It's 8:51. All right. Last call on this. Jason and Brandon. Emoji usage. Do you feel that it's naked if you don't see or include an emoji in a text?
Hello, I don't use emojis, but like if I'm sending text, if I don't put an LOL at the end, I feel like I'm being too mean.
I hear you.
Oh, I got you. All right, I see what you're.
He's right. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
LOL is essentially an emoji just typed out.
Yeah. I figured out what kind of emoji person I am because I was like, what's my style? Guess what I do?
What?
Throwback. I'm a super synchronizer emoji user. If you use them, I use them. If you don't, I don't.
Let's give away the Lukens package right now. This is a nice deal. This is Saturday afternoon. What is it? Opens at 1 o'clock on this?
Yeah, it's 1 to 2:30 at the Midtown location.
Right. This is Lukens Wine and Spirits at their new Midtown location. This is Dale Mabry, just north of Kennedy, right next to like Donatello on Dale Mabry. So that's the Midtown Tampa location. And this Saturday, Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia is going to be showcasing his Four Walls whiskey. And I'm giving away a VIP package right now. You get 2 people in, VIP line. You skip the line. You get to meet Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You get a case, a 6-pack of his whiskey. You get VIP treatment. And thanks to Lukens for offering this to our listeners. I'll go with caller 50. Caller 50 right now, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Caller 50, you get the case of whiskey. You get to meet Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Midtown. And if you want to show up, I mean, it starts at 1 o'clock. You can just show up and get in line and pick up a bottle. But I'm giving away the VIP prize package right now. I'll do one today, right now, and we'll do one tomorrow. So caller 50 right now, 800-990-1047. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show. All right, if your guy doesn't do this, dump him. All right, that's coming up next. Also, a little more info on the assassination attempt on Trump. We'll get into that. I've got a Botox warning. I've got a snack food genius. You got to hear this guy. Snack food genius at Walgreens coming up in a bit. Man, I got a lot. New news on the Hawk Tuah girl. Yep. She's like becoming a daily item around here.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Enjoy her summer.
A lot of stuff is in the final hour of the MJ Morning Show coming up next, folks. Don't move. We're back in minutes. Hey, a few minutes ago, I mentioned twocollegebrothers.com. boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, the
All
best
right.
part.
MJ here fading long songs all summer long.
All summer long.
There we go.
Q105.
Actually, that's kind of all year long, but
You do it most often right to start the show. If people aren't up early with us, I'll be in the car and I'm
it's still going. It's another minute left.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, listen, everyone just wants to hear the boom, 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 boom. That's what everyone wants, right? All right, here we go. Still playing. All right. Anyway, we got it.
Can't we tell the robot that programs the station not to put
5 minute,
5-minute songs?
5 minute songs in morning
What is that?
drive. Yeah. I don't know.
4:45 on that song. Come on.
Andrew usually catches that stuff. That's why In the Air Tonight doesn't play very often on the morning show. Snuck in this morning.
It's all right.
And I like the song. I just don't need a 5-minute record. That's all I'm saying. All right, 9:06 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, congratulations, the Lukens package winner for Saturday, Crystal Mitchell. Congratulations, Crystal. We'll get you all your information. Then we'll give away another VIP package to meet Always Sunny in Philadelphia's Glenn Howerton at Lukens, Midtown Tampa. It'll be, and everyone's invited to this thing. Doors open at 1 p.m. Midtown Lukens Saturday, and he's pushing his new Four Walls whiskey. And we're giving away these VIP packages, which includes a whole case for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just gave away number one. We'll do another one tomorrow here on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, one thing, I was joking around, and I had a couple of people say, what does that mean? Last segment, what was it that precipitated? Roxanne was hijacking something on the program, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna have to squawk 7,500."
Yeah, I had no idea what you were saying, but I just kept going.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what he's doing, but he's making fun of me,
So,
and I'm gonna ignore it.
Pilots on a commercial airliner, they're able to send out what's called a squawk code.
Okay.
Without getting on the radio and saying we're being hijacked, they're able to, like, surreptitiously, they're able to send out a squawk. So it's an electronic message without actually having to say it. And there are different numbers, like 7,500 is hijack. Then there's another squawk code for like an emergency on board or a radio communication law. There's like different squawk codes, and it's like 7,500, 7,600, 7,700, 7,800. And if the tower gets a 7,500, that means that the plane's been hijacked. So that's what I meant. So when you kind of just jumped in and took over, I said I'm going to have to squawk 7,500 because it was like a hijacking.
And now what you're doing is what I was describing you as pedantic. You are being pedantic right now in your expertise, especially in some narrow subject matter, i.e. plane codes.
Am I being a prick? Am I being a pedantic prick? Is that it?
Fester's word. I called you the pedantic prototype.
Hey, speaking of airplanes,
yes,
I have a fascination with aviation. I've always said I'm an airplane nerd. If I did not get into radio, I might have found myself as a
stewardess.
As a commercial pilot.
Hey, Todd, can I have the whole can of ginger ale? Thanks a lot.
All right. So American Airlines had an incident on board recently where a laptop started smoking. They had to evacuate the plane. And they're saying, everyone, leave your belongings behind. What do you think people did?
I take everything with me.
They're evacuating the plane. The cabin's filling with smoke from a burning laptop. And everyone's like opening over the bins, grabbing all their carry-on out. It's like, come on. I know that you've got this concern of all your crap burning up in a hull fire. But come on. I mean, evacuate the plane. If you have a serious situation. Now, listen, a laptop smoking, that seems to be somewhat manageable. But they're still evacuating the plane. I'll give you the details. And then I've seen some grotesque behavior in really serious situations. Like, what the F are you guys doing? Passengers on board an American Airlines flight at San Francisco International Airport failed to evacuate properly after smoke was detected on the flight last Friday, the 12th. Footage captured by one of the travelers, Jan Kai, shows a flight attendant repeatedly shouting, "Go out, go forward, do not take your bags, do not take your bags, evacuate, go out, go forward." Sounds like Devo. Go out, go forward, push ahead, leave your bags. Go out, go forward, leave your bags. Smoke in the cabin, So the passengers in the back of the cabin appear unable to move as occupants in the rows ahead are ignoring instructions to retrieve their carry-on bags.
Listen, you got to put your shoulder into somebody and move them down the line.
Another voice says, "Leave your effing bags!" They're yelling, "Leave your effing bags!" And people are still grabbing the bags.
Yeah, they don't care.
Because you don't know how. I mean, is the cabin going to fill with smoke? Are people going to be choking on smoke?
Well, think of the anxiety of the people in like row 50, the last row. They're freaking out.
Yeah, one of the videos, "Leave your effing bags, get the F out." And the chaos continues as passengers defy orders and other crew members announcing over the speaker, "Evacuate, don't get your things, let's go, do not get your stuff."
Okay.
This can be heard on the video.
If I am in an evacuation situation, can I open the emergency door, MJ, and deploy the slide? If they're telling me to evacuate, I don't have to go through the front door that I came in on, the one at the front of the plane.
If they're evacuating the airplane and you feel that you're in danger,
I'm jumping.
I don't know how you're going to get in trouble for pulling the slide. And if the place is filling up with smoke and idiots are blocking the aisle by trying to grab their carry-ons from under their seats and in the overhead bins, get off the damn plane. Yeah, people, are frantic. Leave everything. Get out. American Airlines told People magazine in a statement during boarding of American Airlines Flight 2045 with service from San Francisco to Miami, smoke was reported inside a customer's bag. Apparently the battery started smoking and burning on a device in a carry-on. A more dangerous scenario was thankfully avoided. The bag was quickly removed by our crew members and all customers exited the aircraft. We thank our crew members for their professionalism and apologize to our customers for the inconvenience. The airline added that while exiting the aircraft, an Airbus A321, one customer sustained minor injuries and was transported to a local hospital. Some passengers did deplane via an emergency slide. Others used the jet bridge. So I don't know who pulled the slide. I don't know who opened up the door.
That's what you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, so apparently the slides were already armed at this point. But again, people are grabbing their bags. Hey, earlier this year, you had 379 people evacuated correctly. They survived after a Japan Airlines, JAL, which is a great airline. That plane burst into flames on the runway in Tokyo. That was back in January, and that seemed to be an orderly evacuation. Yeah,
it's also, you talk about people not wanting their luggage to catch fire and having property damage, but I bet you there are people who are just like, man, this plane's not going now. I got to find another connection. I need all my stuff to go to, like, people are just
listen,
so.
All that crap is going through the head. However, you just got to get off the plane and don't put people in jeopardy. And I said I had some other recollections. There was an Air Canada flight. I think it was Air Canada. I think it was a Airbus 330. Hey, Fester, type this in. I think this is like maybe 10 years ago. There was an Airbus, I think an A330 or a 777. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a wide-body jet, and it was either Quebec or Toronto, and the plane had, I think it was in bad weather, and the plane gear collapsed. It had like a little bit of a crash landing. Everyone survived the crash. But there's video of people walking out and sliding down the slides and walking away from the airplane with their carry-on luggage. And everyone survived that. And the plane's like on fire. And there were a couple of crashes where, the wings are on fire. The plane could explode. People could be trapped. And people are walking off the planes with their carry-on bags. It's like, what the bleep are you doing?
We had a plane that was on fire. Was it Miami or something? Red Air or something?
Yeah. It was a South American airline.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's walking around.
I think it was an older MD-80 or something.
People are walking back to the plane, taking video with their luggage.
Yeah. It's like, leave your luggage on the burning aircraft and get the hell out. Yeah. Maybe just modify your search and maybe just type in Air Canada crash, people taking carry-on luggage.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Anyway, the point I think has been delivered. Leave the stuff on the airplane and just follow the instructions of the crew, for crying out loud. I just don't get that. All right, if your guy
If you're a guy or if you are a guy?
If your guy does this, dump him.
Oh.
If your guy does this, dump him. What is it that your guy must do?
Open the door for you.
Listen, you're not far away. If your guy doesn't do this, dump him. The answer is make you laugh so hard you can't make a sound. Got it? So if your guy, this is directed toward women, if your guy does not make you laugh so hard that you can't make a sound, then dump them.
Okay, I have an interesting theory about this.
Yep. Okay. I mean, and listen, it's not continuously, but your guy, I think in any relationship that either or, the man or the woman or whatever your configuration is, that your significant other needs to make you laugh out loud or, laugh, fairly often.
Yeah, you find humor in some and stuff together. But
what's your theory, Roxanne?
Okay, well, I'll just give you my insight with my own husband. He definitely made me laugh when we were dating. He has a sarcastic at times, sometimes hard to understand Midwestern sense of humor, but he made me laugh. He makes our kids laugh. I hear them like they get belly laughs with their dad. So laughter is a big part of our household. However, I have a theory where you may have been attracted to that humor in the beginning, but it doesn't always necessarily last. I met a guy named Jack. Everyone talked about how funny Jack was. Jack's hilarious. Jack cuts up. We went to dinner with Jack and 10 other people.
Was Jack always on?
Jack was always on. He always had jokes.
Was Jack ever off?
No.
He was always on.
Jack was always on?
Jack was always on.
Go ahead.
And he's telling jokes. He's cutting up at the dinner table. I look around. Everyone,
by the way, that got the festered nod of approval.
Yeah, it did. It was a good joke.
Go ahead.
It was a good joke. I look around the table. Everybody's laughing except Jack's wife.
She's seen the show before.
Because she's heard all this.
She was a
She's
pill.
tired of this shtick. No,
She knows the punchline.
It.
Listen,
yes.
You ever want to see my wife not laugh? Let's go out to dinner as a group. She knows every joke. She knows what lie I'm going to say. She knows the self-deprecating puns. She knows the jokes, the backhanded compliments. She knows all of it. She knows every routine I have.
So that's fine and dandy, if you want to find someone that makes you laugh, but it might not last forever.
Listen, Jack just needs some new material.
Does it fall in the same category as you want to find someone who you want to rip their clothes off? And then does that...
I don't know. To laugh to where you don't make a sound is a pretty high standard to make consistently. Okay. I mean, laugh to where you can't function anymore. That's okay. I don't know if that's.
And that happens. Sometimes you're laughing so hard that like your air gets all caught up and
Yeah.
That's rare. Very rare.
I like the pee your pants barometer.
Oh yeah,
myself.
Are you a pee in your pants laugher, Roxanne?
I've been known to do. I mean, not very recently, but
Oh,
post children, yes, and then
That's
other
my
times
thing.
in my life. Yes.
Oh no! What does this mean?
What?
The wallpaper on my phone just changed on its own.
Oh, that's a sign.
What the hell?
Did it get like wonky? Is it the same photo, but it got like a wonky color?
No.
Did it go to a default?
I have no idea what the hell it is. It looks like some kind of an alien craft in orbit with like a close-up on the superstructure. I don't know what this is. This looks like an alien landscape or an alien. What happened? Did I just get hacked?
Oh,
that's odd.
My wallpaper.
Now something just clicked again.
Oh, my phone is going. Oh, wait a sec. So here, my wallpaper is it's an underwater shot of a coral reef. I mean, that to me, that's serendipity. To me, that's serenity, serendipity. Serenity now. I look at my phone, which can be a very stressful device, and my wallpaper is a great underwater reef scene. And hang on a minute. If I hold down, I don't think I did anything. So hold on a minute. Okay, now I just reverted it back. But why?
Why did it divert in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know why it changed. That doesn't make any sense. You're going to not believe this. Well, maybe you will. The maniac that tried to shoot Trump.
Crooks.
He was nicknamed School Shooter.
Oh, shut up.
I swear. Yep. I swear. Would-be Trump assassin Thomas Crooks was nicknamed the School Shooter. Also teased for body odor and hygiene, according to a classmate. Yeah, the Post has this. 20-year-old who shot and injured former President Donald Trump was nicknamed the School Shooter in high school, teased over his bad hygiene while attending his first year at Bethel Park High School. Would-be Trump assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks became an easy target for bullies who would pick on the often lonely teen, said Juliana Grooms, 19. Yeah, those other kids, actually, she gave the interview to the New York Times. The Post co-opted it. Those other kids would always say, hey, look at the school shooter over there. Oh, Jesus.
Look, man.
Yeah. Oof. Like self-fulfilling prophecy or something.
A little bit.
That's disturbing. All right, I've got a fake Botox alert. I've got a fake handbag alert. You know, all those fakes, all those South Tampa mommies running around with fake Chanels and Goyards and Louis Vuittons and Gucci's.
Hermes.
Hermes. So I got a fake Botox. I got a fake handbag. I got a lot of stuff in the final segment of the MJ Morning Show here on Q105 coming up next. So you don't want to move. Weather. It is 9:28 at the MJ Morning Show. Is anybody excited about the Olympics, or does this appear to be the least hyped or one of the lowest level of interest Olympics that I can recall? Am I right? Am I wrong here? Is NBC going to lose a fortune with their huge multi-billion-dollar, multi-year Olympics contract?
You know, I didn't know when the Olympics started or ended or anything until you mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah. It just seems like there's not a lot of hype and a lot of pre-promotion. Well, I see them promoting it, just it doesn't seem to be sticking. And I even saw that item, and I mentioned it on the show earlier this week at some point, that there are rumblings that the Olympics are going to be an economic disaster for Paris, that it's not going to bring in the windfall that, you know what it all comes down to? Bruce Springsteen's daughter being snubbed from the equestrian team.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Had a major dent in the ratings.
That was the turning point right there. Everyone wanted to see Bruce Springsteen's daughter ride a horse.
I saw...
Baby, she was born to ride
a horse.
Yeah.
I saw an article where the river is so filthy in Paris that the mayor had to jump in the water to prove that it's healthy for Olympic events.
Was that the Seine? What was the... Because the Seine?
Yeah, because the river has long been polluted, and I guess they're holding like rowing or something in there. And to prove that the Olympians will be fine in this water, the mayor jumped in.
See, this river smells disgusting, but I will still swim in it.
We were just on the Seine. Not last summer, the summer before, right? Because Chloe was doing a summer course at the Sorbonne. She was doing a French immersive language course in their summer program, and we went to visit her. Remember, she was staying with a French family. She had a great French family. It was crazy, too. You know, here you're taking in a college kid, and they were part of the, hosting overseas kids, and they had done this before. What was amazing is, they're in the apartment's like a $2 million Paris. It was in the 16th arrondissement. They have like the different zones, and I'm trying to, I can't say the word in French. But they were in the 16th district of the arrondissement, and it was a gorgeous place, very desirable place in Paris. And they had like a $2 million apartment. Chloe's there the first week, and they go out of town for the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They don't come back till like Monday. And they just left Chloe. I mean, Chloe's been there for like 2 days. Chloe is their new little, foreign, student. And they just, here are the keys to the place.
See you later, Chloe.
See you later, Chloe.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Chloe's going through all their drawers and everything. And no, I'm kidding. But, I mean, what trust? You're leaving a college kid from Florida, Luckily Chloe's a good kid, but that's a lot of. I guess they feel that if you got a student that's in town and they're going to Sorbonne for French, that maybe they're not going to loot your place and rip you off and have a wild rave party in there.
Until you get back and see what happens.
No, but listen, they love Chloe. They would sometimes say, "Hey, Chloe, do you want to make some extra money? Watch the kids," because they had young daughters, and they would like roll out and they pay Chloe good money to babysit the kids if she wanted to do it.
She would have hired. They would have hired somebody else.
Anyway, when we went to see Chloe while she was doing her Sorbonne French in Paris 2 summers ago, we got on one of those boats. We did the whole cruise up the Seine. And I actually brought a water sampler. You ever see the water departments, how they have that little tube and they drop it into the water?
Right.
Yeah.
I dropped one into the Seine, I drank the water, and I had the poops for 3 weeks.
See? It's always been a filthy river.
No, I'm kidding.
It's just a city river. Everything gets dumped in there.
Oh, man.
Is he choking or speaking French?
All right, if that's a celebrity impersonation, who am I doing? Celebrity impersonation, who am I doing?
Is that your Ozzy Osbourne?
Dude, that is correct.
Really? How'd you guess that,
Wow.
Fester?
Oh, Fester knows me.
Well,
Yeah.
Ozzy had the show. Or
Andrew says my impersonation was what?
It was spot on.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate.
Did you hear what Ozzy Osbourne had to say about Britney Spears?
No.
All right, here we go. Listen.
I'm fed up with seeing poor old Britney Spears on YouTube.
Dancing.
Every day.
Save Britney.
I know. I feel so
It's,
sorry.
it's sad.
Poor little
Very,
thing.
very sad.
Yeah. Very sad indeed. It's heartbreaking. It is.
Did you understand any of that, or do I need to translate? Do I need to put the subtitles on the screen? I grab your remote and push MJ Morning Show's English subtitles. All right? That was Ozzy Osbourne complaining about Britney Spears and her videos on social media, just on dancing every single day. So this is Ozzy's podcast?
Yeah. I guess he does it with Jack.
And Sharon. So Jack and Kelly Osbourne and Sharon, they do a podcast. The Osbournes. Are the Osbournes leaving Hollywood? It was Tuesday's episode of the Osbournes. And somehow they morph into Britney Spears, and I guess they're sick of just going on social media, and every day it seems that Britney Spears is dancing around.
I'm fed up with seeing poor old Britney Spears on YouTube.
Dancing.
Every
we need another podcast to decipher what the hell Ozzy Osbourne is saying.
Yeah, for the first 3 syllables, he kind of sounded like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, what is he saying, though? What are the first words?
I'm fed up with seeing poor old Britney Spears on YouTube.
Dancing.
I'm
fed up. I'm fed up with
Save
seeing.
Britney.
I know. I feel so
It's,
sorry.
it's sad.
Poor little
Very,
thing.
You know what? I gotta start and stop this. We have to.
Is he saying I'm thoroughly put off?
No, he said I'm fed up.
Fed up or put off? Hang on. Let's play this in chunks. Here we go.
I'm fed up with seeing poor old Britney Spears on
I'm fed up with seeing poor old Britney Spears.
Are you sure he's saying that?
Dancing.
Hang on.
I'm fed up with seeing poor old Britney Spears on YouTube.
Dancing.
Every day.
Every effing day. I got that part.
Britney.
It's,
I know. I feel so
it's
sorry.
it's sad.
And then that was Sharon, I think, or was that Kelly saying, I feel sorry for her?
Sharon, it's Sharon, Jack, and
Ozzy? All right.
Poor little
very,
thing.
very sad.
Yeah.
Poor little thing, very, very sad.
Very sad indeed. It's heartbreaking. It is.
And that was Jack. You can understand everything Jack Osbourne is saying. You know what? I ought to do tomorrow's episode of the MJ Morning Show entirely as Ozzy Osbourne.
Good. I'll call in.
I don't want you to because he might stick like that.
No, but he's right. There's pictures almost daily of Britney doing a different dance.
So that was Ozzy commenting. Got a couple of things here regarding phony stuff. First, it's phony Botox.
Botox?
Botox.
Mm-hmm.
I said Botox.
No, but he
phony Botox.
Oh, yeah. All right. I see
You
what
made
you're
a good
doing.
word.
All right. So, phony Botox. This is a woman that is now on a ventilator, and is she going to survive because she didn't go to a certified Botox applicator, or a doctor or plastic surgeon, a clinic that does this, and they have certification and training. Cheap counterfeit Botox given to people or given by people not trained to do so, has become a very dangerous situation. So cheap counterfeit Botox, people that are not trained to do this type of thing, and on top of that, you've got phony Botox, not the real stuff. This has become a real problem, and at last count, over a dozen women here in the United States have been hospitalized because of phony Botox. In at least one case, a woman became so ill that she had to be placed on a ventilator to help her breathe. 17 women in 9 states have experienced symptoms ranging from blurry vision to trouble swallowing and breathing after receiving what they thought were Botox injections to smooth out, the wrinkles and the smile and the crow's feet and all that.
Oh, wow.
All that stuff.
So what are they injecting in them?
Turpentine.
Okay.
No, I have no idea. A report published Thursday by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention provided alarming details of patients in New York City and Tennessee. I said, Tennessee. One woman from Kentucky was admitted to the hospital in Tennessee. The woman or the women have ranged in age from 26 to 55. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I think I already said it. Chloe's already getting Botox occasionally.
You already let that cat out of the bag.
Yeah, I guess I did. Chloe's 22 and she's getting Botox. I'm like, what the hell are you getting Botox for? And
it's called preventative.
That's what Michelle and Chloe say, that you go to the areas that are going to wrinkle up and you prevent those areas from wrinkling up by getting a little Botox jabbity jab.
I myself have been doing a little Botox back off. I've been kind of backing off of it because I realize it confuses my kids. They're in that stage where they're really learning facial expressions.
Right.
And I noticed.
Oh, if you get Botox, that your facial expressions go away.
They're like, are you mad at us, Mom? We can't really tell. They pick up on it.
Say, I don't really watch Fox News at night. I don't watch CNN at night. When I want news from the cable news channels, I'll pop in during the day just to see news coverage. I don't watch any of the, none of them, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. I don't watch any of the nighttime programs because they're so politicized and vitriolic, and I'm just over that part of my life. I did a talk radio show for 22 years, and I walked away from it because I was just tired of the toxicity of the politics.
It's a no-win to share your opinion.
But like with too much Botox, like that Laura Ingraham, the only thing moving on her are her lips when she speaks, and her eyelids do blink. But other than that, her face is it's like she's got the Frozen syndrome or something.
Yeah, you brought this up on the show because of a story that you talked about.
Right.
That's another reason I pulled back, because you said something like there was a study done where you come across or you become less compassionate.
Yeah.
And if you study communication, facial expressions, when you're talking about authentic communication, facial expressions lead your emotions, lead what you're going to say.
Yeah, I sound like Ozzy Osbourne.
I told you.
We had an item recently where, what was it? That something about liking, that people that use extensive facial expressions are more likable,
right? Because
as people,
you're showing your compassion. Yeah. So I was thinking to myself, I don't want to be sitting here listening to Fester telling me a sad story, and I'm like, oh, that's too bad, Fester, and I just have a dead-eyed pit bull look in my eyes, and I
wondering
can't.
What was wrong with you?
So I backed off of it.
Folks, do not go to a motor court hotel in Kissimmee to have caulking blown into your butt, okay? Do not go to some motel room or some lady's back sewing room or back bedroom in some, chintzy, cheesy apartment complex to get Botox because you saw a flyer somewhere. Cheap Botox. That's going to get you in trouble. It's not really that expensive to go to a real clinic and get Botox done. So that's fake story number 1. Fake story number 2, listen to this.
Okay.
You're going to prison. Woman says Gucci, Hermes have luxury security at airports to arrest people with dupes, with fakes. If you're traveling to Europe wearing fake designer stuff, you may face a hefty fine and a few years in prison. At least that's what a viral clip online is claiming.
I don't think they can hold you to that.
Yeah. I mean, can they rip a fake out of your hands? Like if you're walking through like the Charles de Gaulle airport, And can they, if they've got like Hermes and Gucci police and Chanel, can they, if they spot a phony, can they just rip it out of your hands?
And I don't think they can touch you.
Yeah, I don't know if this is just a ginned up, juiced up, phony story, but this person says Jen Gomez claims that an attorney told her that luxury brands, especially in France and Italy, have hired luxury security for airports and in the streets to identify travelers carrying counterfeit luxury goods like luggage and handbags and then report them to customs. So is there any evidence that this is true? We ought to bring this up again on tomorrow's show a little earlier.
This sounds really far-fetched.
Yeah, it really
She
does.
claims they'll stop you, and you have to find a way to prove that your item's legit. Well, as the experts from these companies, or for instance, like secondhand bags. What are some of the secondhand bag sites? Real. Like, for secondhand luxury goods.
Yeah.
There are several of them out there. You got the Real, and there are a few more that I've seen. Rebag is one. Fester's on just type in.
There's a Fashion File, which is you shop pre-owned designer
there's
handbags.
another commercial that I'm seeing quite regularly.
Something called Farfetch, another one called
I
Yugi's
don't
Closet.
see the one that I've. But anyway, these companies apparently they say that they're able to authenticate because some of the fakes are looking pretty good. And listen, you got a ton of fakes running around South Tampa. You got a few folks that are selling counterfeit items. These are made in China counterfeits, and there's always like a backstory. Oh, it's the real thing. No, it's not.
It's made in the same factory.
And the same old lines, and it's not. And you got in South Tampa, you got so many folks running around. Well, listen, the whole Tampa Bay area, because there are many people that do this. I know of at least two that, and I don't have a personal relationship. I know of individuals that are selling fake Chanels, fake Gucci's, fake Goyards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Goyards are getting too. Those used to be kind of cool, and you didn't see them, but the Goyard bags are all over the place now, with kind of like those Cubert little square. You know what I'm talking about? Is that Cubert? Remember the little geometrical
Does
Yeah,
it come with a little orange snouted character?
I don't think so. Jumping all around?
Yeah.
No. But yeah, you got a bunch of phony designer bags running all around the Tampa Bay area with people that are selling these things. So I don't believe that that's true, but they have security for these big luxury high brand manufacturers looking for phonies at the airport in the streets.
I am not in the fake handbag game, nor am I in the real handbag game. I can't hang, right? But one of my friends is, and she was telling me that.
Hold on. She's in the real handbag game or the fake handbag
No, the real,
game?
real.
Oh, so
real.
it's Derek's wife.
No, it's not. But she was telling me that you cannot buy an Hermes bag unless
Please say it. Hermes.
I just said it incorrectly, so that you would correct me.
Hermes.
You
And what am I?
label snob.
What am I? What was my name?
Pedantic label snob.
I'm a pedantic prick. All right, go ahead.
But you have to actually, like, if I had the money to go in and buy one of their bags, I couldn't even do so because you have to build up credit by shopping with them to be able to be on their list to buy a particular bag.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Like Hermes, you're right. You have to be approved.
Yeah.
You have to be selected and approved in order to spend, your $10,000 with them.
Or more.
You
yes.
have questions. I have the answers.
Oh, yes. Did you hear that?
You have questions. I have the answers.
Anything else?
I'm looking here at the devil card here, and you've got one fierce temper. You understand me?
Looking at the devil card. Roxanne, do you know who this is?
Her voice sounds familiar.
Yeah, come on. Who is this?
Why you want to ask me, darling?
Who is this? Come on.
Is this that? Oh, why can't I think of her name? I can see her face in it and
Yeah.
a crystal ball.
And like a fruit bowl hat?
Yes.
I saw a documentary on her, and such a fascinating person.
Well, guess what? There's a new biopic coming out on her.
There is another one? What is it?
The late psychic Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo. There you go.
It's Miss Cleo. There's a biopic coming out. The Lady of Rage. I am Miss Cleo. Call me now.
Call me now.
Yeah, call me now. I'm Miss Cleo. Yeah, so yesterday, Lifetime unleashed the trailer for Miss Cleo Horizon Fall with the Afro Puffs rapper transforming into the tarot card reading single mother who had the infomercial game on lock in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Cleo, like Rage, hailed from Los Angeles, and according to the film, was once raking in $24 million a month for the Psychic Readers Network that employed her before the FCC swooped in with allegations of fraud. Oh, really?
What for fraud? It's entertainment.
Yeah, Miss Cleo died in 2016. She had a battle with cancer. Her likeness was subjected to lawsuits, but popularity never waned. Rage's buzz has also been swelling this year. She recently murdered the dog pound and Snoop Dogg on her own. What? What the hell is it?
So they're coming out with a new Ms. Cleo movie.
Yeah, apparently on Lifetime. Lifetime. What is this? Afro Rage or Afro Puffs and Rage? What?
I'd be lying if I said I was too familiar with that genre.
I'm not too familiar, but listen, the bottom line is that a Miss Cleo biopic is coming to Lifetime. When does it hit? I don't have a date on. Oh, August 10th. Yeah, all the cards will be laid on the table on August 10th.
You have questions.
Yep.
I have the answers.
On Lifetime. All right, anything else before we get out of here today, folks? 9:47 at the MJ Morning Show. Anything, guys? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I'll hold my peace for a while.
I didn't get to the Walgreens story, man. So much. We just don't have enough time.
No.
I had new stuff on the Hawk Tour girl.
I'm going to hold Fester's peace.
You know what?
I'm holding my
He's holding
peace.
his peace. I said I'll hold his peace too.
Pretty big piece, you know.
All right, so I got a lot of stuff still in the pile for
Yeah.
tomorrow. Plus whatever else develops. We got to, got to up my Dan insurance. Yeah, my Dan insurance just expired.
I don't even know what that is.
Divers Alert Network.
Oh.
Yeah, I carry insurance because if you have a diving accident, which I tend to be very, very safe, never had an incident, but they'll pay for the medical evacuation if you need it. So I'm going scuba diving on Friday. I'm going to do probably like 30, 35 dives over, 8-9 days. So, I got to up my Dan insurance, which if you're a scuba diver, you really ought to have Dan insurance. So I got to just thought I remember I got to up that. I'm going to do it right now. So anything else before we go?
No.
Little scuba diving PSA.
Yeah,
folks, you know how much scuba diving means to me. It's my escape.
Okay. All right.
Is that it?
Yeah, you say so.
All right, Fester,
See you tomorrow.
what is your escape?
No, holding my peace.
Okay, speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, folks, we'll see you back here tomorrow for the Thursday show of the MJ Morning Show on Q105. I am Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Give me a follow if you don't. Certified MJ Radio. My DMs are open. Give the show a follow on Instagram, MJ Morning Show. And our Facebook page, MJ Morning Show. Join the 30,000 or so that already follow us on Facebook. And my email is mj@mjmorningshow.com. Folks, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. And let's be careful out there. Hey, it's MJ for my friends at Profusion, a metal fabric